Hey. Now, the question is, can anybody hear anybody other than me? It looks probably like that. That's interesting. OBS seems to not be. There we go. OBS seems not to be recognizing the one source that is actually outputting the guys from chat. I can do something about that. I can do about that. I could do this maybe. Yeah.
Knock once if you can hear us.
No, that's not going to work. Sorry, guys in chat. There we go. Right, let's try that. OBS is caught up. That should work now. Is anybody
Does
there?
it?
Yay!
Anybody there?
No, I was just getting Evernote up so I could write on my screen.
Oh, sorry, guys. I'm all over the place with levels. Right. Yeah, I can't. Right.
Mark muted.
Hello, everybody. Anyway, I'm going to talk for a bit while I fiddle about and try and get everybody in. Ah! Right, that's better.
Mark?
Yes. Good. Excellent.
Am I still really loud?
No, you're
Mark's
not good.
muted.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry for your eardrums, guys. In my defense, I have just in partially through a complete reinstall of Windows on a brand new SSD. And with that came the inevitable resetting of all of the things, everything, every single thing. So we got there. We've got there. Let me know if levels are too loud or too quiet or whatever, and I'll adjust on the fly. Hopefully we've got somebody in. Okay, so let's do this thing. How are you guys?
Yeah, good. It's a weekend,
Good.
so it's always
all
fun.
right. Sorry. Yeah.
I think Hidari's peak.
Was that a bit exuberant there?
It's not the weekend for me yet. I've got more work to do after this.
Oh.
Oh no, not tonight, surely.
Yep.
Oh, dude, that's not good.
That's not good. That's rubbish.
Yeah. It's just why he's got the face rig up so he can work in the background.
No comment.
So, yeah, he's actually on the clock at the moment, but he doesn't want to finding out by visual recognition. And he's going through a voice changer as well, because Qatari's actually female, and this is just the lengths that Qatari goes to in order to hide from the employers whilst moonlighting in tabletop role-playing games. Awesome. I've had a week. I was supposed to be on holiday and I got ill. I don't like that very much. That sucks. Why do you always get ill when you go on holiday? Shouldn't it be the other way around? I don't know.
Yes. The sudden de-stress does things to your immune system.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And I just got a really sore throat, so we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
It's all right so far today. I mean, I'm gargling with salt water. Have you guys ever done that as a cure for a sore throat?
Oh.
Yeah, I have.
It's good, disgusting.
Oh, it's horrible.
You don't have to swallow. Oh, that's wrong, isn't it?
Can you quote Mark? Clip that someday.
What did you just say? I missed it.
Nothing.
Don't worry, it'll be on the clip later. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
Yeah, I got there before you did, Ange. That was the main thing.
There's nothing suspicious and salty going on in this chat.
It's just, it works. That's the thing. If it wasn't so damn effective, you wouldn't gargle with salt water. I was trying to move on, but clearly you guys didn't, so that's fair.
You lot are just stuck in the moment.
Stuck in the gutter.
I don't know if Fairlawn actually meant that. Drink water after it tastes super sweat. I don't know if he meant that or whether he meant to say sweet. I don't know. Either way.
I know what you need to do. Just drink whiskey.
Whiskey is good, actually.
Whiskey heated up. You'll be fine.
That's what my brother said as well. He's like, just drink whiskey, and I'm like, I haven't got any whiskey left in me.
Have you tried the gargling with TCP? That's fun.
Oh God! I mean, I'd almost prefer saltwater. TCP is
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Thanks to everybody for the resub and all of these awesome new K-pop emotes that we've been getting. That's fantastic,
Yeah.
Twitch. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, that's great. I hope everybody loves K-pop as much as we do, because we love it here. We're over the moon about it.
I was so excited to hear. Sorry, Lloyd, carry on.
I think our resident fan of K-pop has outed himself.
When I saw it, I thought it was something like those Pop-Tart brand or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt there'll be like a BTS and D
I mean, has it been
stream
K-pop?
in the future.
Has it been K-pop month? Is it K-pop month or K-pop week? What is it? What is it they're doing?
I really hope it's not a month.
Well, I'm just thinking because we're over halfway through the month and we've only just realised that it was K-pop month. But
I guess it's like a week. I don't know.
it must be a week, right?
How much does it
Does anybody
cost?
know? Does anybody care?
It's 11 days,
11 days.
11 whole days of K-pop goodness.
ending on the 30th. So you've got the entire week to earn your K-pop emotes.
That's brilliant. Here he is. Somebody tried to educate me in the ways of K-pop, and I don't think they're in chat at the moment, so I can say this.
Yeah.
But their daughters, both are apparently fans, and they go or at least have been to concerts by these people. And actually, what I saw, from a technical standpoint, was pretty cool. Apparently, these paddle things that you get are things that you get given when you go into the big stadia, right? You go into this massive stadium,
Yeah.
and you get given these things, and they're all like Bluetooth or wireless enabled, and they become like this massive LED screen all the way around the stadium. And every bugger stands.
Well,
there
they're
with
those
one of these in
baton
their hands.
things, are they?
Yeah, and they all light up, but they're controlled. They're LEDs inside, so they actually control.
It's
them, and
fine
they
until
go
a
all different-
fucking helicopter lands on you, isn't it?
So that kind of thing, that was actually quite cool. The music I didn't even bother turning it on, but the actual effect of the kind of huge LED of everybody holding up their batons or their I thought it was like paddles. I thought it was some sort of
You know what? I got a sneaky feeling that that you two may have done that first.
Yeah, you too.
And
you know what? If we went, our paddles wouldn't work.
Oh, yeah. That's a very good point.
That's so true.
Yeah,
That's so true.
that is a
yeah.
good point.
I think Bono should be getting some royalties from or some sort of patent spend on that. Yeah, it was pretty cool though. It worked really well. Good on Bono though. He just uses his glasses to show the light of things, doesn't he? He walks about with them.
You know, I don't know. I can't stand the guy.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you like the music?
I'm not a big fan.
I like the music.
I don't mind the music.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan. But
I'm glad that hate mail is something that we can't get. Are they
If they
still
hate
popular?
enough,
Do
they'll
people
find a
still
way.
like? Yeah. Do they still love? Do people still like you too?
Yes, they do.
No, they're all watching K-pop, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Gee whiz, that.
Wait until you
Did you
try
just say
K-Rock.
gee whiz?
Gee whiz.
Gee whiz.
So hello to chat, hello to Infinity, hello Jade, how's it going? Who else have we got here? Furlon, hey, how are you? You having a good one? We're joined today by Kadari, by Lloyd, Antipops, Summel Pirate, and myself. Groy, we are all here. You know us already. If you are new to this stream, welcome.
Willkommen.
We play tabletop role-playing games, and we play solo RPGs with two people. We like to mix things up. We're also contemplating doing an RP series of spooky game.
Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
Is that one?
No, that's me.
Yeah.
Phasmophobia, the spooky game. We're also thinking about doing an RP series of that. We've had some dalliance to see if it might work, and what do you think? It might work. It's a possibility.
I think we'll be able to do it until we get attacked by the ghost. Then all our pay will be screams and running around.
No, we'd probably be able to do it until somebody presses the stream button, and then.
Yeah, we'll be alright with it. It's just it's all right well until we get scared.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. If you could do like a custom game, it'd probably work a bit better. Because like the problem you have is you'd be like, oh, here's like Derek Sanderson or whatever, And you'd be like, you make it be like some kind of axe murderer, and then when you see the ghost, it's like a little kid that runs out of the basement. And you're like,
That kid could have been an axe murderer.
Yeah.
If I left the van, you'd all be broke and have no equipment.
Wow. So we've been doing
That's-
that.
that's it.
That's something. We've been planning games as well. We've got a Cthulhu game happening.
And tonight.
Cthulhu weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It seems to be.
And we've got what else is coming up? What else have we got on our books for?
Next week is Casting the Runes.
Yeah, which is a
Friday.
brand new game, isn't it?
Brand new. Just
spanking
out of
new game.
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's a
More
surprise.
rules to ignore. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Croy has one that he's been planning legally, I expect, called The Lurkers.
I think if that's part 2, I think that might originally have scheduled that as being part 3, but I think we might have to go back. I can't remember, but yes, we've got a D&D one shot coming up, which will probably end up
The
being a
Atrophy of
two-shot.
Flesh was the first one, wasn't it?
No. Dreams in the Witch
Dreams
Room.
in the Witch Room was the first one.
Yeah.
The
Atrophy of the Flesh was the second one.
So that's the
And
one.
then the
Yeah,
Lurkers.
so the atrophy is the Atrophy of Flesh then. So we'll have to put the Lurkers into November then.
That's cool. We can get through that. So yeah, that's kind of some of the stuff that's happening. And also, as was rightly pointed out, we are gathered here to play a game of the Trail of Cthulhu. Where we left it on a bit of a cliffhanger last.
We did.
It's a bit of let's find out. Let's just jump into the next.
Somebody is going to have their testicles removed. And it's going to be Angie's character.
To the shock of everyone, including Andy.
You know, I mean, surprisingly prescient on the part of Mark. But we'll see what happens.
I hope he's referring to the bit about Angie's character and not the testicles bit.
Well, there's one way to find out.
Segway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what do you guys remember about what happened last week, if anything?
Isn't that the whole thing? Or
Yeah.
well, we found there was
We're in.
Yeah. Go, Lloyd.
Yeah, your notes are
Andy's
much
probably
better than
got she's
mine.
probably got. I doubt it.
I did rewrite it up.
Yeah, so the thing that all kind of kicked off with Gavin Langley, which is the escapee from Port 4, who had a bit of a bleeding flap situation. He was ranting something about the eyes at sea, the hands, like like sharp claws or whatever, or needles. And then later on, once we found out he had passed non-voluntarily, that like someone had been like jabbing it with needles, and that like murdered him by slitting his throat. Where else we got? So we got a bit of character names. There was like some people were having weird dreams, strange noises, and disinfectant, which I think ties in probably with what's about to happen. There was there was a thing we had found. I think it was like a picture of like a heart-shaped lock, and then we found that the Dr. Drake, who was like the headliner, was he has like some kind of twisted key on like a chain around his neck, which is potentially related. There were some bird-headed doodles.
He had a jar of
Something with
maggots in his.
Maggots.
Yeah, he's an odd fellow.
We also found X-rays of our own skulls and hands, which was none of us remembered having been taken in the first place. And then I think we'd like called the police guys, and they were going to try and arrive in the morning, but I'm guessing they probably won't.
That's right, because the weather's
It was a whiteout with snow.
the weather's really bad.
And she befriended a small girl that will probably.
I went into the
kidnap
children's
at the end of the
ward, and
adventure.
I didn't kidnap this one, but I went into the children's ward, and there was lots of strange children that refused to speak to me and were just staring at me in a
It
really
had
weird
very
manner.
strange toys.
And they had some very disturbingly strange toys scattered around the floor and in a box in the ward. And then there was a little girl that was hiding in the cupboard because she said that they kept on chasing her around and taking her away, and she had weird marks on her arms and pin marks on her. So I've managed to kind of told her to stay away in the cupboard and not come out no matter what. And kind of like left her in there to look like that she, so she won't get disturbed. And then we headed back to our beautiful ward for a lovely, pleasant night's rest because we're ill. And I took first watch, thinking because I didn't want to go into midnight and do the middle of the night watch. So I stupidly said, "Oh, I'll do the first watch." And as I'm sitting on my bed doing the first watch, I needed a wee. As I got up with my back to the door, I suddenly became paralysed. I couldn't move.
And something came into the room.
And then the doors behind me to the ward went. So there we are.
There's also an important lesson that you should not always pick the bed or like chair closest to the main escape route. Because if something comes in the escape route, then basically you're the first one picked.
That's you, isn't it? I think. If I recall.
Yeah, I think it was the closest two beds, but I think it was myself and probably I don't know if it was anyone else, because there were, I think, an empty bed or two. But yeah, so the strong smell.
I think for us, we remembered that quite well.
The benefit of notes, yeah. Because I reckon I've been probably kidnapped before at least once. Given the character has like strange dreams of like weird noises and disinfectant. And like we found a room that smelled like disinfectant, and now something's coming to the room that smells like disinfectant. So
and you're all asleep and you don't know, and I'm paralysed.
At least we know this surgery is going to be clean.
Yeah, but that's the thing I did. I was hypothesizing before going to sleep, because I don't think anyone was listening.
Did you remember it rightly?
I think that's pretty good, guys. I'm pretty impressed by that.
And now the audience can wake up.
Pretty good. So,
unlike us,
the doors smashed open, and the table that was placed in front of them got knocked flying. The room had just filled up with a strange smell, and well, Roberta tried to move and couldn't. Actually, Roberta, it gets worse than that, I'm afraid. You're actually struggling to breathe at the moment. Your character is so frozen that the breath inside your lungs is escaping you, and you just can't make them work. You cannot make your lungs work. You're trying to gasp for breath, and you can't as you hear footsteps walking behind you. You're trying very hard to inhale, and you can't, and there's a stricken panic in your mind. But you are unable to take a breath. Your entire has your throat closed up, or have your lungs ceased to function? You just cannot breathe, and you're struggling for air, and none of it can get in. You can't breathe through your nose. You can't breathe through, and you hear the sound of two beds being wheeled out of the ward as you black out.
And then go to the bathroom.
Didn't quite make it though.
I'll see you in the morning.
Can't do anything. We're all like frozen.
Yeah.
You've been frozen. So while the remainder of the room is suffering in silence, Bobby. Herman.
Yes. No.
You've been woken by the sound of, or the vibrations of the bed being wheeled down corridors.
Oh no. What do we see?
At this point, you're trying to move, but you can't. Your bodies are frozen. You're awake, and you can hear, and you just try and open your mouth and gasp for a breath, but the first instinct of your mouth is not to open. And you begin to panic as your eyes don't open, your hands don't respond, your feet don't move, your legs don't respond. You're trapped. You're stuck. You can just feel the vibrations going down as you're wheeled down corridor. But as you get through a little bit further down the corridor and the air changes in temperature, you can feel it. It's colder, cooler. Just as you're about to feel like you're about to black out from lack of oxygen, you're able to and you take a breath and you're able to open your eyes.
Probably don't want to, but might as well. What do I see?
The beds are being pushed by bizarre character. Looks like a nurse. Looks like it's nurse, something in a nurse's uniform. As you're trying to bring your focus onto them, they look like they've been stitched together. They look like they've been rated.
Oh no.
They're absolutely horrendous. I'd like you both to make a sanity.
Stability, is it?
Stability, sorry.
Yeah.
Stability roll. Just to see how you can manage to keep yourself together, if you can indeed.
I've rolled a 5. I'm not spending any points.
I spend 1. Hopefully 4 is enough.
Yeah. Maybe it's the effect of the
Yeah, you must be
gas.
seeing things.
Yeah, you're seeing things. Possibly that.
This is some kind of drug-fueled nightmare that we're having. That's probably what
You might still be
trying to rationalise.
Yeah. Oofed.
Yeah, they just. The other thing that you seem to notice about this is that the corridor itself is very long. It's just kind of
like too long.
Yeah, you've been on this corridor for too long. None of the rooms, none of the corridors are this far apart. You're looking up and you're examining the ceiling as you're being wheeled. It looks made of something. It's not the tiles that you were used to. It's not the painted ceiling with lights. It's something else. It's almost like it's made of something organic and it's peeling down. You can see big lifts of this thing just falling down like paint, maybe, that's just been sitting for too long. The water got behind it and it's just peeling down, but you're not certain that is paint.
Oh dear. Are there like any doors, or is it just walls all the way down?
Are you turning your head?
Yeah. Maybe not.
As you turn your head, you see at the side of the bed, pushing the bed where it's being held, are these hands that have really fine needles extending from them, pointed at you. And as they push him down, the needles are pointing down, and he's just moving. This bed's just pushing you.
Well, that's trying to make more sense. But are there any like doors, or is it just corridor all the way?
Yeah, it's corridor so far.
Okay.
Are we aware of each other? Or or is it like we're kind of laying down on these beds, they're being pushed?
You're being pushed one behind another.
Right, so probably.
So there's two different things, whatever they are.
But if you look, if you want to look around,
I'm going to try and sit up.
okay. You try, and you succeed to sit up. But just as you do, the bed slows, and you feel a hand next to you, on your shoulder, and you feel a slight indentation, a sharp point on your neck.
Oh no.
Okay.
And a needle pierces your skin, and suddenly start to feel sleepy.
Okay.
I was gonna go for the lower key method of just being like, I don't know, trying to see if I could like feel my movement or not, and like minimize my movement, like so I kind of get a feel for when your like muscles aren't like you can kind of get a feel like if your muscles are sluggish. Yeah, just so like you can see like if it's easy enough to move, then I could like save it up for later. But
I don't think Bobby's going to be that clear-headed and rational about it.
That's
and I think you wait till I come back as the major villain. I think Bobby, I'm going to panic, and I'm going to try and slap these hands away as he's sitting on the bed, and he's going to try and use all of his strength to kind of drag himself off of the trolley as it's moving. And as he does that, I guess he takes a quick look back.
Can you roll something to allow you to escape the
I can roll all the things. How about scuffling?
Scuffling would be a good one, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 2 points on that bad boy.
Oh no, that's like my entire total.
And if my cat would get out of the way, I'd be able to see the screen.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So you managed to bat the hand away, and you take the opportunity to roll off the bed, or get up.
Yeah, that's he's gonna attempt to get away. I mean, he'd be absolutely crapping himself right now, I imagine, and he's going to be fight or flight, and he's going to do both. No, he's going to flee.
Luckily.
As you look to the side and down on the floor, and as you're still moving at this point, you have been moving, the corridors become even more sinister. It's now no longer just paint flaking off the walls. It's sheer organic decay. There is signs of what could only be blood down the corridor walls.
Oh jeez.
The walls themselves become spiky as you're being wheeled, as if there's blades or some such coming out of them. You're being wheeled into, well, I guess you might think of it as hell, right? That would be
Cenobite's wet dream is what this is.
It might be exactly it.
Was Bobby's trolley, is that in front?
He's behind.
Was Herman behind him? So right. So he probably doesn't see Herman in the trolley in front of him. And so he's frantically pushing past, trying to head back up the corridor the way they came, thinking that's the way out, that's the way we've come. Probably as this drug's taken effect, he's probably slowing his movements, slowing every step that he takes.
I'm just wondering, while this is kicking off, does the one that's holding my trolley, does that like move, like let go or move off to go after Bobby?
No, you're still moving.
God
You're still healing. Let's just take a stop there. Let's just take a stop there. And we'll go back into the Ward 3, where Ed and Roberta are hanging. Roberta, you blacked out. Ed,
I did.
you've been asleep. Are you still asleep? Are you sleeping through this? You can quite easily do so.
I don't know. Is there anything that would have awoken me?
Yeah, well, the clatter you were waiting for, potentially. But maybe something that Roberta might say. I don't know. Roberta, what's your reactions? You go through this blackout motion, and then you wake up, and you just wake up and give a sharp intake of breath when you're able to breathe.
I get out of bed and I twirl around, and are the lights on? Are they on or off?
They're off.
Do we have a bedside light?
Something strange about this room. Something very strange about this room. Doesn't look like it's made of rock, brick, concrete. It looks like it's changed. Something's different.
Am I not in the ward?
Well, you can see some of the things that make you think you're in the ward, but when
And
you
I see scream.
You scream.
Mm.
Would that wake Ed up?
That would definitely wake Ed up. So I'll just sort of, my eyes will open and I'll sit up a bit in bed and go, "What?" I'm looking around and trying to
Look around you. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. The beds have gone. The beds have gone.
What?
Ed sees the beds have gone. Ed, you also see that the state of repair of this place just looks absolutely terrible. It's almost like you've been put into a different ward. It's the same, but it's so massively different as your eyes adjust to it in the dark.
I'll get up out of my bed and go towards the door and try and see if I can spot where the other beds are.
The first thing you notice when you put your feet on the floor is that something sticks to you. As you lift up, you hear a crackling noise.
Yeah. There's something on the floor here.
You know where the light switch is?
I go towards the light switch and try and hit that first.
Yeah. Turn on the light switch. The lights flicker. They are not working as they should, but each time the light flickers on, you see red around parts of the light fittings. You see red around the light switch. You see red around the windows that come into the ward. And you look down on the floor, and like gabs on the floor look like giant gabs. Is it paint? Is it burnt lino? Has it been a fire?
I'll just quickly look around and check, and once I realise the two beds are missing with Herman and Bobby in them, I'll go to the door and look out to see if I can hear or see anybody outside. See if I can hear the beds rolling away.
you see that outside this room, the corridor's taken on an altogether different dimension, different shape. The idea of there just being a place that you could walk to find the lift seems totally lost to you now. There is no end to the corridor that you're looking down both ways. And the further you look, your sight can't quite make it, but looking to your right, there seems to be somebody coming towards you. Somebody that you recognise. It's Bobby. He's not walking. He's more kind of like shambling. And then there's also something from the left that you hear moving and stinking, something smelly, something awful. There's a horrible stench coming up the corridor towards you.
I'll look over to where Bobby is and just yell, "Kid, get in here!" and sort of usher him back towards the door.
Yeah, he's walking towards you, but he doesn't seem to be making much ground. Bobby, you see in front of you a light appear from a doorway, and somebody you recognise appear, but you hear this noise. Hear this shambling, grating, grinding noise coming up the corridor, and it absolutely something.
Seeing the light and seeing Ed, I think maybe spurs me on a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think I'm calling out his name, but I can't remember it. It's Ed something. I call him Mr. Hayward. That's why I'm shouting, "Mr. Hayward! Mr. Hayward!" And as I'm stumbling forward towards Ed in the distance.
There's something running towards you. There's something running towards you. It's like black slime. Is it? You begin
Ahead
to
or
see
behind? Is it?
Taken from front of you. It's coming. So you're running towards the
Towards
ward
Ed.
doors and towards Ed, and then beyond Ed, there's something else that's running. There's something else moving in the shadows towards you. It's grinding up through the corridor.
Are there any doors left or right?
No. No, there's nothing.
Would I have heard Ed's voice, by the way?
I don't think so. You're miles down the corridor at this point.
Ah, well.
Yeah.
How fast is this thing coming towards Bobby?
Ed. Something. It's almost like a train coming down the corridor. It is. There's something moving, and you just feel it kind of slopping its way down through the corridor, as if somebody's, I don't know, slapping wet towels and pulling. No, it's just brushes and soaking wet, soapy, slippery noises coming down, and it's then that you see this it's black slime filled. There's eyes in this slime as it passes up to you. It's coming. You see this brown eye just staring at you from within the slime, and as the slime moves round, the eye stays in place, and these tentacles begin to just reach out and pull itself up the corridor towards where you are. It's about at this point you can see it from the light of the ward, and it's absolutely hideous and it's vast. I would like you to make a sanity roll, please. A stability roll.
Is that just Ed, or I think Bobby ought to make one as well?
At this point, yeah, yeah. Don't you worry.
It's the stability, I think, rather than
Stability,
sanity.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get to please do re-roll that with the stability.
I will take this opportunity to roll better, yes. Okay, I clicked it, didn't roll. Oh, it's asking me to spend points, that's why.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did he lose his when he rolled that? Did he lose a sanity point?
No, it's stability. It's different. It's
Yeah,
not.
stability. Sorry, it's me. That's my bad. You don't hold it together. You absolutely don't hold it together. These eyes that are rotating around in this black jelly-like ooze that's coming towards you. I don't know what your reaction is, but you are no longer able to look at this thing. This is fear incarnate at this point. I don't know how you react to losing your sense of calm at this particular point.
How many did he lose any stability points for that? That's
Oh yes,
might be an indicator as to the kind of shock that he's about to have.
Of
Yeah,
course.
you can pick which eldritch horror you'd rather be facing,
Yeah.
like Nurse Frankenstein or the Sugar Baby. You can always come with Herman and see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
That's what you get for taking the red pill.
Yeah, so you are hang on a minute. Yeah, let's just carry on with that and I'll get back to you in just a second
Okay.
because I've closed the
Okay.
window that I shouldn't have.
Oh,
fair enough.
So you are looking at this thing, and let's cut back to before we do that. We'll cut back to Bobby as you're trying to get towards Ed. Herman, we'll get back to you in just a minute.
Okay. So Bobby sees this thing, does he?
Yeah, you're running down the corridor, and this corridor just keeps on moving as if you are not getting down that corridor. There's something dreamlike about this state as you keep trying to push yourself down this corridor. You can see Ed, but also you can hear and feel this sense of doom as this black, many-eyed, tentacled creature just slides its way like a freight train down towards you. It seems to, at the point that you feel like you're almost within the first window of the ward. You see the light, you look in, and you're just like, you're hit by this thing, just slams into you.
Ow.
And it hasn't been moving quickly, but when it hits you, it tries to almost hold you within itself, and it begins to push you down the corridor. It begins to move you as if you're trying to fight against it. You're trying to run into it, and you can't. And its tentacles are wrapping around its legs, and one of these big eyes rotates around and just stares at you.
I think I'm going to make a stability roll.
Yeah, I think at that point.
Oh, surprisingly, probably doesn't realise this is not a dream. This is all a dream to Bobby. He's having some kind of bizarre nightmare.
Yeah.
And he will. I think what his natural reaction will be to this thing is to turn and run back the way he's just come, I guess, and try to find a doorway to duck into. Did he remember seeing any, either left or right, as he was running down the corridor towards Ed, or when he left the trolley?
Yeah. So there we go. Yeah. At this point, this crawling, shambling thing, it's trying to get away. So could you give me a fleeing?
I shall. I'm going to have to use athletics because I don't have fleeing.
Okay.
And I will spend 2 points. I think he's quite keen to get away. For 7.
Yeah. So you're able to get back down the corridor towards it. You're running back down as bits of the corridor are dripping or falling off the roof just in front of you as you're trying to run. You feel these flecks just landing on your head as you're going down, but you still hear this noise as this whatever nightmare apparition is, as it continues its relentless march towards
Just
you.
trying to get this through my head. It was between Ed and Bobby, this thing. Was it?
Yeah, you were just about to get to the door. You got to the edge of the ward where you could start to see the light coming through, flickering through the windows when this thing blocked the door. As it got towards you.
And now I'm running back the other way. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's how I had it in my head, but I wasn't sure. But...
You're running towards footsteps that are coming down towards you. We'll leave you there just now.
Yep.
Roberta. Ed standing at the doorway shouting for Bobby. You're screaming.
I was screaming. I look around. Is that Wendy gone? There was another patient, wasn't there?
The other patient's lying there, just totally oblivious to this.
Okay, so is there furniture in here, like chairs or anything like that? Okay, so thankfully I didn't put my pajamas on. We were dressed. I jump off the bed and try to grab a chair and run towards the door.
Okay, and as you run towards the door, you too see this massive black freight train of an ooze sliding past the window as if you're standing at a tube stop and this nightmare rail has just delivered something. So I'd like you two to make a stability roll, please.
Do I roll it from under the abilities, or do I roll it from...
And you can spend points if you want to, I think, yep.
Yeah, I know, to take them down manually. Shit!
Still better than mine.
Ed?
And 2 points as well. I rolled a 2.
As you watch this thing rolling past you, you take 4 points of damage to your stability as the eyes turn and look at you as you walk past this black. Yeah. Ed and Roberta.
I take 4.
4 points. And you look at this horrific, shambling black ooze with these eyes and tentacles hauling it down the corridor. You can't get out as it walks past you. Bobby, you're running. Herman, you're on a trolley being wheeled. Ed and Roberta, what do you do? Ed, you see it first. What's your reaction to this thing?
I sort of, as soon as I get a good look at it, I've essentially forgotten Bobby's there. I'm just running away from the door. I'm just going towards the furthest corner of the ward from the door and just hiding behind something at that point.
Probably Roberta. Roberta, when you see this happen, what do you do? When you see Ed just running from the door and then you look out to see what he's been hiding from.
The door shut?
Well, it is now. But the window's
okay,
open to.
I run and hide under the bed. Any windows in here?
Yeah.
I'll note that, but I'm going to hide under the bed. No,
Yeah.
I'm going to run to the window. No, I'm going to hide under the bed. No, I don't know what to do.
You hide under
Okay,
the
I'm going
bed.
to hide under the bed. Yes.
And compromise and hide under the window.
Herman, your field continued. Your feeling has continued down this corridor. It has become more nightmarish and more garish as the further that you get.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna probably this will be back my probably like my time to bail. I think. Like hopefully, like it's whatever it is like worn off enough that I can try and make a break for it. Because the thing is, if it's just looking like it's getting worse, I don't want to find out what happens when it eventually, whatever this is, just turns into an open wound.
Yeah. So yeah, make a either fleeing or
fleeing. I can do. That's like my best skill. Let's go. I'll put 2 into fleeing, and hopefully that'll help me skedoodle. Yes. Just get out of dodge.
Which way are you running? Are you? I presume you're trying to
probably
get
gonna
past.
go back. Yeah, gonna go roll off and then try and dash past after Bobby. So hopefully at this point I've like worn off enough that I can kind of run rather than like a little stumble.
The nurse tries to grab you.
Yeah.
As you're running past. I'll use that as a general indicator. Just reaches out and you see these fingers, 3 fingers with needles on them. You just manage to duck as his arm reaches down. It's almost like slow motion for you. And you begin to run down this corridor. The bed stops wheeling and the nurse turns. You get the sense that she's following you.
That's right. I don't have any intent on looking back. So I'm just like run down the corridor as fast as I can.
You notice at the side of the corridors there's blades that are just sticking up from parts of the floor in the corners at the bottom of the wall. Trying hard not to actually pale on, but more to the problem is that you, as you're running fast, Bobby, something's approaching you. You're caught between 2 things at this point. And you're being chased down by the black.
Yeah, right
gambling.
now, a rock and a hard place would be better things to be caught between.
Yeah.
I'm frantically searching the sides of the corridors, looking for doorways or something I can duck into to avoid this thing that's barreling down the corridor after me.
There's nothing. But just at that point,
hide in the blob of goo.
You feel an arm reaching out towards you. Attempt to grab you. Are you trying? You want to?
I think the instinct is to fight, is to try and get away from this thing, whatever it is. Does that require a roll?
Yeah, I think something suitably athletic would do.
Okay, so athletics it will be. I'll spend a point on that if I may. 6.
You nimbly, the effect of whatever was keeping you under before starts to recede and you manage to get under, but this is relentless. And the noise coming back up. This sort of just, you've got 2 options at this point. You can run back down the corridor away from this thing, or towards.
These 2 options are give up or surrender.
Yeah, you can run. You can run back down the corridor looking for something, or you
man.
can run towards the black blubbering
And
eye.
I think. I think run away from the black thing is probably. That's the thing which is probably is afraid of the most at the moment.
And you start running down the corridors. Strangely, it seems easier to run down this corridor than it does back. And very quickly, you hear more footsteps running towards you.
Oh, balls!
And you see Herman.
Mr. Minnow!
Yes.
Mr. Minnow, there's something coming!
Yeah, we need to keep moving. Hurry. We need to get out of here. So whatever this is.
Okay, so when I kind of reach Herman, I kind of grab a hold of him, eyes wide, shouting, "There's something coming!"
It's just they're back the other way, but
And I'm pointing down the corridor towards this black thing.
whereabouts is Bobby's bed at this point? Like, because
Yeah, you would. Yes, well, you wouldn't be too far away from it at this point. Yeah.
Because maybe we could like ram it with your bed to slow it down, and then we can run past it.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, I think I'm quite willing to accede to the the older and more experienced Herman Minnow, and yeah. Yes, and so I think that's a great plan.
God.
So you're running towards the bed that you see down the corridor.
Yeah, so
And
we can
as
kind of
you do-
use it to ram the blob or whatever.
As you do, you see another one of these. The nurse that was chasing you, Herman, appears,
Oh, God.
and her fingers are rattling together. These needles just kind of flicking off each other, scraping a metallic noise as she walks towards you.
Is she importantly on the other side of the bed or on our side of the bed?
She's on the other side of the bed at this point.
Okay. Oh, if could we team up?
Steamroller.
yeah, basically. And just charge, because I mean it's like our only option really. Like there's one of the nurses behind and one of the nurses in front. Like
Yeah.
our only option is to go straight through with this bed, hopefully.
Yeah.
So
We're
take a side
teaming
each
up.
and
We're going to double team the
So
nurse.
you grab this
Yeah.
bed and you begin to charge it down the corridor. You hear this noise shambling behind you, and footsteps walking down. In front of you, you've got this never-ending force of, as you said, and you grab this, you push this. Give me I don't know. I'm going to say I would like a vehicle handling or or mechanical driving maybe. Yeah.
I mean, I'll use half my points because like I don't foresee much.
That you're ever
Maybe
going to be needing that
athletics.
again.
Athletics.
Athletics
shit.
could work.
Yeah. Do you have any?
I've got 6 athletics and 4 driving.
Okay.
I could burn the driving.
I kind of feel that driving is probably not appropriate.
If we could, what we could do is if we could use your like crazy adrenaline levels to like power it, and I'll steer.
You get on it and I'll push. Is that what you said? I personally, I feel that this is probably more of an athletics test.
Yeah.
It just kind of, I feel driving because I think you have to usually specify the vehicle.
The vehicle, yeah. But that's cool. So go for it. Go for it.
Yeah,
Go for it.
and
Roll
so
it. Let's see how.
now I know there's something we can do with the combining, but I can't remember the exact ruling.
I can find that in a.
Yeah, it's to do with somebody spending a point to give a bonus point to somebody else making the roll. Yeah. But I
Did have the real. Yeah. Right. So let's cut back to the ward.
and I'll look that up.
Oh, madness.
So I run and hide under the bed, and I watch the window.
Into the
And
corridor or the one outside?
yeah, so because
Yeah.
no, the one to the corridor to see if this thing goes by.
It does. It continues down the corridor. Doesn't come into the ward. Past.
Ed,
What?
what was that? What was it?
I don't know. It had eyes and it's massive. Do you think it's gone?
Went straight by. Shove these bed. We need to. Where are the others? Where's Bobby? Where's Herman?
I saw Bobby down the corridor the way the thing went. I don't know if it got him or if he ran. Are you sure it's gone?
Don't know, but do we go after him? Do we go and help him? I run to the window and open the window. What can I see outside?
The outside window. Out, as if you were looking out towards the snow and the trees.
Mm. Yes.
Maybe far away there's trees. You're not quite sure what they are, a sort of dark silhouette against something white. But the distance looks impossibly vast. Something strikes you.
How?
It doesn't look like. Just doesn't look like you're in. Something's got something strange. Your eyes, maybe your eyes have changed. You know how to see. You know what the view was. You've looked out that enough times while you've been in hospital during the day. There's no chance that these things are that far away. How could that?
How far away's the floor?
The floor, the ground. You look down. Wait, you get dizzy looking down. Something's not right. Something's not right at all. This place is not. This isn't where. No, you're starting to panic. I would imagine at this point. I don't know if this is something that you want to roll for. A stability check as you get this realization upon where or what has actually happened. In fact, it's not a dream.
Yeah, okay. I'll stability it.
Oh. Oh. You shake it off.
Good. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
shake it off. You focus, but something's not right. Still not right. You're not sure what it is, but the tree line that you're used to seeing on the outside of the window in the snow is further away than the. Are you thinking of climbing out the window? The window doesn't open very far. You can't climb out of it.
Ed, we can't get out through the window. We need to go. The only way is maybe go and get the others. Let's get some kind of weapon. And can we make a weapon? What about these chairs?
I'm not sure how we'd fight a slime thing. Maybe if we go the other way. He points down sort of the direction the slime had come from.
Oh, we need to go and find the others. We can't leave them out there on their own. Four of us against it would be better than just two. We need to go and help them. I'm desperately running around the room trying to find something that I can use to hit things or. No.
Right. I will assist in the attempts to find a weapon to fight a slime.
Yeah, I mean, there's a table that you put down before. Maybe there's this kind of tall, thin stool-like.
Did it get damaged when it knocked down?
No, it just got knocked over.
Is it completely wooden?
Yeah.
Can I stomp on one of the legs and break a leg off?
You're a big guy. It'll take you a bit of a while. You get a jar up your knee as you do it. You can break it. So,
Okay.
back into as you kind of prepare yourself in the ward. Let's go back to Herman and Bobby.
Just one thing before we go.
Oh,
I
yeah,
run
yeah.
over to what was Bobby's bed and see if he has left his cigarettes and matches behind.
No, it's not the time.
It's always the time. Now is most definitely the time.
I'm going to quickly search around for his matches and cigarettes and see if he left them on the bedside. He went to sleep, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, they'd be there, I imagine. I don't know that he would have grabbed them. Would Bobby have grabbed them? Is that just a reflex reaction?
I doubt that very much. Well, he was asleep anyway, so it's
He
not
was
like he
asleep
would
when he
just
was
left them on the
out.
sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. He may have even hidden them in the drawer or something from Nurse, whatever her name was. The
Yeah.
matron.
Grab the matches.
You're getting prepared. Okay. So, back in the corridor.
We can cooperate. Somebody will spend
Allegedly.
points. Yeah. So say you spent 2 points of athletics. I could make the roll, but I get whatever you spent minus 1. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah. So I have to spend 2
To add to the roll.
bonus.
So if you spent 2, I would get 1 point extra, or vice versa. So whoever wants to make the roll,
Whoever feels lucky.
yeah.
Should I roll being in charge, and you can?
I'll tell you what, you can roll because you're in charge, and Bobby's following your lead, and I will give you 2 points.
Sweet. Is that total or 1 point effective?
1 point effectively because
Okay.
I'm running low.
Okay, so I'll spend 2, so I have 4 left, and then so we
You do
get
3.
3 effectively.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
see,
so the
so I'll
idea
put-
here is that you ram the bed into this.
Into the
giant
nurse. Yeah, this thing.
Yeah, save the rest of the points for the blob. Okay, so I'm spending 2. It'll be +1 from.
From me,
Nice.
yeah, and then you get +2 from yourself, so total.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll take it as a 6. So we found out this nurse
Is it
points.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
So you manage to, I think something like you push the bed, and she's trying to clamber like this, just kind of reaching at you, and you've got her at the end, and you push her against the bit of the wall, or you just get her enough out of the way, and then you
Yeah.
can run past her. Is that the idea?
Well, I think we're going to try and barge through because we still have the issue of that whatever it is, the other thing.
Behind us, yeah.
Yeah. So you're going down. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I mean, if she's going to be happy to be stuck at the end of it, we could push her into
Push
the
her down
blob
the
as well.
corridor.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can go into the blob as well.
So which way are you going? Are you going towards the blob or away from it?
Well, I
Are you
don't
trying to
know.
get back to the ward, or are you trying to get away
Yeah,
from
back to the ward. Back
Right,
to the
Herman
ward.
gets to decide that. So we're heading back towards the blob thing then.
Okay.
Yeah, so if she's got to hang on to the edge of it, then
She's going
push her into the
first.
blob. Yeah, she's going into the blob, and then hopefully they'll keep the blob occupied, and then we can run. We can ditch it and run. This is the plan anyway.
Okay. So the nurse is trying to push against the two of you, but your combined weight and momentum is too much. As she slowly digs her heels in, you begin to hear that noise again. This noise that you've heard already, Bobby, is
Oh,
this
shit, it's Donald Duck.
yeah, this creature with a bright yellow bill and blue
Yeah.
sailor suit comes round the corner.
You,
No.
not you. You haven't been
If
invented
only,
yet.
if only it was that. If only it was that. I think you'd be in a much happier position than you are at the moment.
I think when you're asleep and hallucinating, like you can make horrible things. Like
Yeah, that could.
Herman, you see now a second nurse walking, and behind her you see this ginormous jelly-like creature. You've no idea what this is. It seems to be vast. It's as big as the corridor, and it's
balls.
shambling towards you, pulling itself forward. The nurse is walking steadily in front of it towards you.
I don't think we can get past it. To Bobby. Like, I have a feeling we're not going to be able to get past it if it's really in the whole corridor.
What do we do, Mr. Minnow?
We may have to bail. Maybe slow them down and then try and go the other way. But I don't know. I don't see a clear escape route. No. I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe a final push at the trolley.
Yeah.
And then run.
Yeah, because maybe
direction.
if we run them, but maybe if we bump them into the thing, it'll kind of slow the slime down. Maybe.
Yeah, the second.
And then we can bolt the other way.
The second nurse is in front of that as you run that one.
Yeah.
You're trying to push this nurse back, but the combined strength of two of them, you begin to feel it just rolling back. You've lost a bit of momentum as it begins to push, and one of the nurses walks round the side of it towards you.
I think, can we pivot it,
pivot?
Set it sideways? So the table, because it'll be on wheel, the trolley on wheels, we can try and I don't know, is it wider than? Would it be longer than the corridor is wide? So you might be able to wedge it.
You're going to try and turn it round into the
just
sides.
sort of wedge it.
All right, so you do that momentum thing. You sort of jackknife the.
And then we're just gonna have to leg it back the way we came.
Which catches it, and the nurse reaches out towards. Who's at the left of the bed? Who's standing to the right and the left? Is this?
I'll take it. Bobby's had issues already.
Yeah. So the nurse takes a swipe out to hit you. Now I'm forgetting how to run an attack in this case. I need to get back to the page that has the right attack on it, but. She's swiping out at you with her jaggy, pointy needle fingers, and this is not ammo. This isn't capacity. This is not rate of fire. You're exposed. There's no barrier between you. What's your hit threshold?
Where do I find that?
What's your athletics score? Total
Athletics.
6. 6.
Yeah, 6 is total. Yeah.
Those 3. Hit rating will be 3.
Hit rating's 3. So yeah, that hits you.
It's on the left of the sheet under your health, by the way, if you're looking for it on the sheet.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
And at this point, you start to feel sluggish as this needle hits you on the wrist, and you begin to
on the wrist.
As you're pushing around this bed, she stretches out and manages to stick you with her needle.
Yeah.
And you start to feel sluggish.
I'm gonna grab my wrist. I'm gonna try and grab my arm, just higher up from the injection point.
Yeah.
Next to my biology training and first aid.
Yeah.
Just to grab it, because at least I can stop it or slow it down. If I get the right grip on it. Do you want to roll for that? First aid?
No, you're cool. You can do that. You can grab yourself there. But I don't know if it's going to have that much effect.
I don't know.
You are poisoned, and you begin to try to escape from these as you're running back down the corridor. The two of you hear the bed getting shoved out the way, and the nurse is steadfastly coming after you. This feeling that you're getting away. Could you just give me a fleeing or athletics roll at this point, to see how quickly and how far you're able to get before you actually fail Herman.
I'm fleeing's my thing. Probably let's see. Just to check, we are supposed to be reducing these things as we use them on rolls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm spending another 2 fleeing on that. Boom! Thank God it did.
I'm
Bobby,
gonna.
you notice, you're okay running, but you notice that Herman's beginning to slow. But
So I'm gonna try and help him along. Because he's the only friendly face other than Ed that he's seen during this whole thing.
yeah,
And well, I'm so afraid. I don't want to leave him behind. Safety in numbers and all that. So I'm going to try and assist him if I can. I'm going to spend another 2 points.
yeah.
For 5 on athletics.
So you're grabbing this guy, and you come to around the corner, and this corridor just begins to turn into a door. At the end, you see a doorway.
Okay. No, sorry.
Not far now, Mr. Minnow. Door's there. We can make it.
Quick as you can. We need to get out of here.
All right, and we'll rush for the door.
And you hear this noise come reaching the corner.
Don't look back, Mr. Minnow.
No problem.
Yeah, you you are faced as you walk in with a character standing with a huge long nose.
It's like a bird face guy.
Yeah, hair and back and a surgeon's gown on, and there are two metal tables with sheets, dusty old sheets over them, and you just hear say, good, and the sheets get whisked off. There's clamps over these, and you smell this strange antiseptic in the air, and you try to keep awake, but as you're walking and you hear this noise and the two nurses walk in behind you, and you're groggy and you're feeling like your eyes are about to close, and you feel these hands around your neck and then on your arm. That's the last thing that you remember, feeling 3 metal pins enter into your flesh. You can feel your flesh parting as these go right into your arm, and you black out.
It's worth a try, right?
God damn it, Bobby.
If only you'd run faster.
Back in the ward, your collected assortments of things. You look outside and you see the corridor lights are flashing. There's red appearing around some of the light switches. There's just something wrong here. Outside isn't right. The dimensions are wrong. What do you do?
We've broke a couple of the chairs. We've grabbed some bed sheets, kind of ripped them up to make almost like lamp things. Torches, yeah. The word fell out my head. And I turned to I turn Ed and say, which way? Which way?
I point in the direction the slime went, so right from the ward door. It went that way. We should be quick if it's chasing Bobby, and I just start walking out the door.
Okay, as we're walking along, I'm frantically trying to wrap some material around the end of these things.
Bed sheets or
I don't know how. Yeah, I turned to him. I go, I don't know how well these will light, or how long they'll stay lit. Do we light them now? What do we do?
I'm just going to have a rummage through my pockets and see if I've got some whiskey or some spirits that I can use to cause lighting, as it were.
Maybe
I'm using preparedness.
Preparedness, okay. If you spend a point in preparedness, you've managed to sneak in a bottle of scotch with you into the past the hospital.
Always keep stuff in your pockets; it'll come in useful. I've spent a point.
Excellent.
So I'll just pull out a small hip flask and go, splash this on the middle, light them faster. And I start splashing it onto the table legs covered in bed sheets. I'm just going to go with torches.
Okay, yeah.
We'll light them when we see the slime thing. I'm not sure how long they'll burn for.
Okay.
So
you're walking down this corridor, and it becomes gradually more and more disrepair, more and more of this strange settings. There's these sharp protrusions from the side of the corridor at one point, and then you start to hear it's a slapping wet mess, and it seems to be coming towards you.
I quickly try and give you light one of the torches, the one that Roberta's holding.
I will, as soon as she gets that torch lit, I'll try and light mine off that and prepare for the slime to return, I suppose.
Yeah. And you're busy trying to light these things. And then, not without too much time, you hear it. Closer. Closer. The noise begins to take you, and suddenly you see, out of the darkness, two large black tendrils flying towards you. Try and wrap themselves around you.
I'll try and take a swing at one.
Bat the... Yeah, same.
It's on with our torches.
Okay, so can you roll scuffling?
Could it be considered weapons? It's a weapon.
Improvised, I guess, but no.
I'll let you decide.
Yeah, I think at this point you're still scuffling.
That's fair. I will spend a point in scuffling. Oop. Oh, well then. Wish I'd spent so.
Yeah.
Bench point.
You hit this thing, but whether or not it does any good, I'm not sure. It wraps its arms, its tendrils around you, and you feel you're being compelled backwards towards the ward. This thing has grabbed you, and it's trying to haul you back down. It's pushing you down. Its tendrils have got strength in them.
I'm going to fight it as much best I can.
Did I keep hold of my torch when I was grabbed?
Yeah.
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 I'll try and
trying to batter it with the
swing the
torch.
fiery end at it.
Yeah.
Me too. So I might need to take a stability roll on that, I think.
I think you already have. You've already seen this up close, so.
We don't need it. Okay.
Okay, so if you're trying to break free again. Yeah, okay. So roll with a -1 damage modifier because you're using an improvised weapon.
how do I do that?
I think just roll at this point. I think you just roll a d6.
D6 minus 1. Oops, I typed D5, which I suppose is technically the same thing, but let's not, because that's awkward.
2.
Yeah,
I got a
Doing
one.
great. We're just so
Yeah.
hardcore.
This thing pushes you back. The eyes are rotating around its black face, and it moves with such huge strength that you're unable to resist, and it pushes you back towards the doors, where it at this point pushes you in through the doors back into your ward. It's moved, and it's continues to fight me. You can try and resist it, but I think there's a certain point of it's so vast that your torches don't even damage it. Or I mean, you're hitting it. It can see it recoil. You can see the effect, but no. This thing is pushing you backwards, and backwards you go.
Did you say it's pushing us back towards the ward? It's not taking us down the corridor towards, but oh. I would keep fighting as much as I can. As long as it's got us, I'm going to keep trying to hit it, and I want to aim my firing thing. Did you say it got eyes or an eye?
Got eyes, many eyes.
Multitudes of eyes.
I'm going to try and stab the fire thing in its eye. And if it's gone out, just the stick in its eye.
Yeah, its eyes are just pustules at this point as well that you're close to, and as these tendrils begin to move down towards you and wrap your arms. It's just wanting you to be under its influence. It's trying to restrain you. At this point, I think if you're going to try and do that, then I'm going to roll a scuffling against you. I'm going to put some points in. Oh, that's a d20. Hang on, I do apologise.
That's a bit high.
There you go. So it's going to restrain you and hold you in its grasp to the point of it.
So I'm just going to try and wiggle out, as it were.
Yeah.
Try and force it to grip open somehow. Is that scuffling again? All the scuffling, all the time. I'll stick 2 points into that.
No, you're not strong enough to escape its.
I can't get out of it.
Oh my god. Screaming probably and shouting and scuffling and let's press that. Ed, how do we get out of this?
I'm stuck. He's just sort of wiggling. I'm not sure how. Try hitting it more.
Again.
Yeah, I'd like.
Oh my
also,
God.
with this exertion, Roberta, Ed, you both take a point of health from your exertions because you've you did the there.
7.
This is terrible healthcare. I'm not impressed with this hospital.
No.
You're forced back into your ward at that point. And this black shambling might of whatever is holding it together stands in front of the door and blocks it. There's pustules that have formed on the sides where you've burned and variously hit it as you've bashed it on the way down. You see, but yep. Back in the ward, back in the room with
Would now be a time for a
Herman
good
and
quick
Bobby.
break.
Yeah,
Now be a good time for a quick break.
let's just put the scene into the minds of you as you do that, and we take a very quick break. There's a figure dressed in the surgical gown. He's got plastic gloves, and he's got a. I suppose the closest thing would be like this medieval plague masks that you see. Bird's beak, black hood, feathers at the back. It's a weird, bony bird-looking thing. And the surgeon bends over one of the paralyzed characters, takes out a scalpel, takes out a drill.
A drill. The precision surgical instrument that is a drill.
He then turns to the other character. The last thing you see is a needle puncturing into the air. I think at this point both of you are. I mean, you've been injected, you've been, neutralized, you've blacked out. I don't know if you're fighting. I think you would have been fighting the effects, or if you were.
I think quite likely well, Bobby probably would have gone down fighting. I don't know about Herman.
I think he would have tried, but he has no skill or ability for it. Like an awkward flailing match.
Handbags at dawn.
I think the fight that Bobby puts up is less effective than he considers it to be in his head.
Yeah, I mean, he'd been drugged and everything, hadn't he? So
you see this figure just approach you, but I think you black out even before you actually sense any of what has happened. So perhaps that bit of narrative for chat there, just to give a sense of what was happening. The two figures laid down and being operated on. And that would be a good place for a break at that point, I think. We'll find out what happens in the aftermath of Okay, we'll be taking a quick 10-minute break. We'll be right back. So let your dogs out, let your cats in, all that jazz. Back after the break.
I didn't think I wanted to come back.
Hey, we're back.
Oh,
Hey.
Everybody should
Oh,
be.
no.
Everybody's back. Everybody's back. Yeah, everybody's back.
We're back.
We're back,
Music.
back once again.
Not sure for how long though.
We're back. Not sure we want to be.
Yeah, I don't think we want to
Tell a
back.
friend.
You have the parties split. Half of the party
Split
is
the party.
half of the party is in some surgical ward somewhere in hospital, probably in hospital. We imagine it's in the hospital, connected to the hospital. In the ward, two characters hiding or struggling or
Being dragged by that
They've been
blobby thing.
Pushed
Yeah.
back into the ward.
We're in its grasp at the moment, aren't we?
yeah, and it pushes you back into the ward and lets go of you and sits in front of the door for a while and observes you through the glass with its eyes.
Oh, so it just pushes you. What the hell?
Relaxing.
Ed?
It's... I don't know.
Didn't kill us.
Can we get around it somehow? Is there
Was
any...
it just stood by the door?
It looks at you as you look at it. Two more eyes peer in the glass of the door looking into you. And then it begins to shamble away, left from your position as you're looking at it.
It's moving.
Quick,
Maybe
get
it's
some more
fine,
sheets. Grab some more sheets. We're not shooting sheets in this room.
Bobby. I'll help Roberta rip up some sheets and we
And then
can
we'll
reassemble
go-
our torches.
Then we'll run right.
Right, yeah.
Gonna run away.
Okay,
So we dash
You run-
out and start heading right.
so you're following.
Attempting to look for Bobby, because I saw him go this way before.
Okay,
I'm not going back towards the slime.
Didn't go well last time.
corridor goes on and on. Become more warped than it was even when you looked out from the doors before. Very quickly, you hear footsteps coming towards you. The paint is peeling off the top of the wall. The floors become almost like scabs. Footsteps walk down the corridor towards you.
Like
And
the
you-
torches.
Then you hear crackly voice. You should not be out of bed. And in the flashes of the light in the distance, you hear metal scraping metal. In front of you, walking down the corridor in the light as it blinks on, blinks off again, blinks on, blinks off again. See these tall, stitched nurses' uniforms, but their hands, their arms have scars, huge scars around their body. They're walking towards you. Their metal just scraping against each other, these large needles walking down towards you.
It seems some of your other patients have got out, so we're looking to get them to get everybody back to bed.
Back to bed. They're about 50 meters away from you at this point. 40 meters.
Like the torches. Set one on fire.
Yeah, I've not got any better ideas.
Okay.
Let's fight everything in this corridor.
Cthulhu is not a fighting game. That is a problem.
We're making it a fighting.
You like this. You like the thing, but in the time it takes you to get this thing alight, the nurses are upon you. And they reach out towards
Cover them
you.
with your whiskey that you've got left.
If I've got any left, I'll splash it towards the nurses.
What are you going to do? Accuse them of like drinking on the job and hope they let you get free?
Yes. Yes. I'm going to arrest them for being intoxicated on the job.
Yeah, they reach out towards you. Do you run? Do you stay still?
Step
Do you
back.
you trying
Step
to fight
back.
them?
No, step back. Step
Yeah,
back. Step back.
Not running, but stepping out of their reach.
Yeah, okay.
And if they try and swipe at me or grab me, I'm just going to swipe the torch at them.
And try and light the
on the
alcohol
spot.
that we threw at them. Like,
So this standoff begins to, and they're pushing you back. Are you're keeping out with their grasp as they walk towards you? You're gonna. I think if you're gonna stay away from them, we're probably gonna have to get into a combat situation because they're coming for you.
see, in my head, I know you don't fight in Cthulhu because you don't win. But I think I would just try and whack them and try and set them on fire.
Okay, so
They're between us and the place we want to be, so...
So you've poured whiskey over them, and you've tried to light a torch. But you're walking backwards while you're doing this.
Oh no, the slime's going to be behind us.
Well, nurses are slime.
Okay, so the nurses,
Oh no.
the nurses are going to reach out and grab. First of all, they try and grab Roberta, and they rolled a 5, which I think is to hit is probably sufficient. Ed, they reach out. They're following you. You're not running. You're not using any skill to evade them. You're walking backwards, trying to fend them off, but they're not having it. They keep coming at you. And one of them reaches out and equally tries to grab your wrist. Rolls a 3 to try and get in the terms of over your body, and the needles that they have form around your wrist, and you feel 3 puncture marks on your arm as the sedative takes effect.
I don't like words like sedative. That doesn't sound good.
And you begin to be drowsy and sleepier as some strange dreams take you. Deeper, your eyes close, your legs begin to weaken underneath. Roberta, you slump forward. The nurse catches you. Ed, you fall to the ground.
Ow.
Spike just inches away from one of these spike protrusions in the corridor, and you look up and see just bits of paint floating down over and behind as your eyes close. The nurse bends down. The better. You black out.
I think this was largely
This is
successful.
going well. The whole party is unconscious and being operated on.
But not dead. There's always an upside.
You wake up in the morning in your beds. You're in Ward 3. The hustle and bustle of the nurses around you. Checking your clipboards. Opening the curtains. Still been snowing outside. No bright light.
What time is it? What?
I check my arm. See if
What's
there's any
going
marks on my arm.
Hello?
Yeah. You've got very small red, very tiny little red dots on your arm, Roberta. Bobby, you've got an absolutely crippling headache.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't feel so good. I don't think I slept well at all last night. And he reaches for his cigarettes and matches.
You're not there. In my pocket.
So when he realizes it's not a dream and has a complete breakdown. Oh.
Any of you seen my cigarettes?
I reach down, and I find them in my pocket.
So is that where Roberta freaks out?
I just literally turn around and go, "They're here. I have them. It wasn't a dream. Oh my god! Where did they take you last night?
Well,
Ed, do you remember what happened? We were in the corridor and there was weird witches nursey things with long needle fingers and
Wait.
some
is this
blobby,
happening around?
slimy thing."
Is this happening while the nurses are still taking the charts and things?
Yeah.
I would just say to the nurses, "Get out! Get away from me! Don't you come near me!"
Conversation for a later.
Yeah, no, it's it's Nurse Clayton, the youngish nurse, Dampier is there as well. The two of them just looking. Well, how are you today?
Get away from my bed! Get away!
No.
Get away from my bed!
Please.
Get away from my bed! Get away!
What?
Get away from my bed! Do not come near me!
Why are you being so?
Oh, as if you don't know.
uneasy?
Get away! Get away from my bed! Get out of this ward! We don't need you in here.
Well, I think we'd better call for.
Leave! We don't need you in here. Get out!
I'll go and get the sister. The matron. Yeah.
Before you go, nurse, I don't suppose you could give me some aspirin or something. I've got a terrible headache.
Don't take anything from them, Bobby. Don't take anything.
As you say that, you put your hand to your head, and on your forehead, you feel a line of just a kind of something unusual across your forehead.
We need a mirror.
Check your testicles.
That's probably the first thing that Bobby does.
It's okay. All four of them are still there.
Oh, I've got yours here.
Yeah, you have
The rental.
as you kind of you pull up your gown and you look and you see you've got a scar. You've got a scar. Where you didn't.
Scar?
Yeah.
They took your kidney.
Yeah, it's about there. Yeah, kind of just at the sort of underneath your chest. Yeah, the bottom of your rib cage or so.
So looking at him, do we see anything wrong with him?
Yeah, he looks like he's got a very faint scar across his head.
Do I feel anything on my head in a similar place? Or am I fine? Or is it just his brain that they were testing?
Any mirrors in the ward?
Yeah. Do I feel any scars or anything on my head? Because we were knocked out at the same time.
Herman, no, you don't feel anything.
Do the same thing. Do like a quick check of like anything, like arms, legs, whatever.
I think Bobby is. I climb out of bed.
What? Hang on, just this is as you do that, Herman. You're checking your body, aren't you? You're looking around like this. What?
No.
The family jewel.
You're looking at your body, but then as you wake, you realise that your vision is no longer 20/20 or as close to 20/20 as it ever was. Your eyesight isn't.
It's worse.
It's worse. Definitely something not right with your eyesight.
Oh god, what's wrong with my eyes? Do we have anything reflective? Like, yeah, I don't know. I may have to find a mirror.
And when you start focusing on it, you do feel a bit of a pain. Or as you come to, you do kind of realise your eye's a bit sore.
Oh no, I've got someone else's eyes. Should have gone to Specsavers.
You've got it's kind of stiff when you and actually when you think about it, you're not really seeing the way that you used to see. When you do this, with your finger, the peripheral vision just vanishes just about there rather than around there or whatever.
Oh no.
So
I need to find something so I can see what eye or eyes I do have. Oh no. Where can I find something reflective?
So I guess you both get up at the same time, right?
Yeah, I was thinking of heading to the gents to have a look in the mirror, the washroom or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I need to find a mirror. This is not good. We can freak out.
Probably
together.
shambling a bit, clutching his head as he goes.
Yeah.
And have like freaking crow eyes or something. Oh.
Herman, you have one eye. Your other eye has been replaced by a glass eye.
God damn it. They took my eye.
Bobby, you've got scars where you never used to have scars.
I came in for a concussion. What's going on?
Think that they're taking parts.
Why would they take your eye, Mr. Minnow?
I don't know.
And I
Probably something.
I've just got a horrible feeling. I have a horrible sneaking suspicion I know where your eye is.
Where?
Scar's in my head, yeah? How big is it?
The scar in your head? It's faint across, on your forehead. How big?
Oh, okay. It's just a scar.
Yeah.
It's not.
You don't have a third eye.
I saw faint. I mean, I've got a faint scar on my head. Like it's
but it's just a scar. I mean, as long as it is a scar and I can't open it.
Yeah, no, I mean, you didn't want to do that. You'll end up with blood coming out of your head. That wouldn't be good.
Is it kind of recent? Yeah. Is it kind of stitched, or does it look like it's been there a while?
Oh, it looks pretty well healed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very faint.
Yeah.
I mean that's.
Oh, maybe it was in the accident, and I didn't notice it. Maybe. But what's this?
It wasn't there yesterday. I would assume.
So they're standing there. Is this in the ward?
It's just where you find that no one pays attention to Bobby, so nobody notices anything.
But he's just the annoying kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do a quick body check.
Yeah.
Of who?
If everybody else is panicking, I better make sure.
Yeah, I'm like that.
Yeah, Ed.
You have no arms and legs.
No, you're fine. You feel as whatever it was that you're used to feeling is how you are feeling.
Well, I feel like I've been shot, so.
And you still feel like you've been shot.
This hospital isn't working at all.
That's budget cuts for you.
Now you've been shot twice.
Yeah, he's had surgery to put the bullet back in.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so after we've kind of stood there comparing scars for a few minutes.
Mine's bigger.
I mean, the only thing that that Roberta feels, Ed's got a bullet wound. Roberta's got like a sore stomach and a kind of dodgy cut. But beyond that, you guys there's no obvious signs of.
But that's what they came in with.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that you're in the ward. The nurses are at the nursing station. They're preparing breakfast, and they look down their sheets and they say, "Oh, so it's some toast and marmalade today for you both, and a cup of tea. We'll be getting that right to you as you walk back in the ward."
Oh.
Nurse Clayton.
Yes.
I came in here with a concussion. Why have I got a scar just here?
Oh well, let's take a look, will we? She walks to the end of your bed. From the station, crosses over the corridor through the doors, goes to the end of your bed, picks up the clipboard. Ah yes, it says on your notes, on your medical records, there was you suffered an injury when you were younger. Says that you received stitches.
I've never seen that scar before, nurse.
Oh, it probably just the concussion. It'll come back to you. Don't worry. Your notes are here.
He didn't have it yesterday.
Don't believe them. Get out.
Wait.
No, we saw him yesterday.
Yeah.
We
So
could tell the difference.
at this point, head nurse Mather comes in, having been called about some rather
Unruly patient.
And she comes and stands at the end of your bed, Roberta.
The true nightmare.
And says, "What's going on here? What's that fuss about? My goodness, what is wrong with you? Why will you not just sit in your bed and keep quiet and get better?"
You would like that, wouldn't you? Get out.
Oh,
You're not treating me for anything else.
I will not.
You will not be treating me. I'm leaving. You will not treat me anymore. You are not treating me anymore.
We're going to take you up to the 4th ward. We're going to take you to Ward 4, I think, and we'll be ensuring that you're not.
I won't go to Ward 4. I'll behave.
You're not distressing the other patients who are here to get better.
I'm behaving now. Don't take me to Ward 4.
She's not that. Yeah, it's fine. She's not that. She's not.
Don't worry. These lot are all going to stick up for me.
On the plus side, you could be our person on the inside of Ward 4.
What you rolling at this point? I think we need a roll here.
Panic. Where's the panic button?
some sort of interpersonal skill.
I just turn round and say to her, this place is horrible, and the doctor's horrible, and we all had some very strange dreams last night, and we've all got marks all over our body that we can't account for. And I'm not going mad. You know I'm not going mad.
I think at this point, reassurance, I think, is what you're trying to do there.
Yeah. Do I actually roll? Oh, fuck.
No, you spend.
Spend a point.
Oh, I spend, do I? Oh, right, I see. Okay, I'll roll that again then. And spend.
Well, you don't have to spend, but
You can if you.
I wanted to.
but yeah,
I forgot.
I think it might be useful that you do, just to kind of grease the wheels of this.
you don't
particular
roll
maneuver.
for this.
Oh, why is it not letting me spend a point?
No, just
You
mark
don't
one
roll. You just mark the point down. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I'll mark a point down.
down. Okay.
Thank God, 'cause those rolls are crap.
Nurse Mather looks at you, writes something onto your sheet, and puts it at the end of your bed. The clipboard back onto the metal rail at the end of your bed. She says, just keep the noise down. There are people here who are trying to get better. And she stomps off.
I grab the clipboard and see what she wrote.
What
Observe possible psychotic behavior. Consider Ward 4 transfer.
Right.
Breakfast is wheeled in. On the trolleys. Who'd like a cup of tea?
No thanks.
Yeah, I'll take a cup.
So yeah, passes Ed a cup of tea. Your breakfast orders, as you've requested, is there. Toast, marmalade, on plates.
Mr. Hayward.
Yep.
Did you say your old colleagues might be showing up this morning?
That's what they said on the phone. They'd be here in the morning, but they said it'd depend on the weather. I'll just walk over to the window and look outside, see how deep the snow is.
It's deep, yeah, but it stopped snowing just now.
Does it look deep enough that I assume the police would be delayed?
Borderline. You as a conscientious officer of the law would perhaps attempt to take that opportunity. You're not so sure if everybody at your station would.
Right. It doesn't look great out there. They might be a bit late.
Any nurses in the ward at the minute?
Well, I would say that a wee bit of time's passed, and they're outside at the station.
This would have been a much more awkward conversation if there were nurses in here.
I just turn around and go, what do you remember about last night? So we can't say anything, because if we get took up onto that ward 4, then we're never getting out of here. So we can't say anything, but we have to get out. We have to get out. Last night was real. Look, you've got weird marks on you. I've got puncture marks. Don't you remember the black slime, the eyes, the weird nurses?
Wait. You saw that too?
Black slime. And it was going past the windows, and then somebody wheeled you two off in a bed, and we tried to get to you, but we couldn't get to you, and we tried it. Everywhere was red and crispy and scabby and blistery, and then there was these weird nurses with needles on their hands, and they grabbed us and they stuck the needles in. Look, I've got the marks here.
No, that can't be right. That can't be right.
Ed.
They did something to us at the end of the corridor.
What do you mean?
My
It was
eye
just
is-
a dream.
my
What are
eye
you
is-
talking about?
Can I
No, I
pop
remember
out
it
my
too.
eyeball?
That's certainly one reaction.
This is like the fastest way to like prove a point.
Roll stability.
I think we're all going to need to roll stability to see Herman pop out his eye.
I mean, yeah, if you want to try.
I don't really know how easy or hard it is to, like,
Scuffling
take out
roll
my
against
eye.
yourself.
Against yourself.
I imagine it can't be that hard.
With a minus negative.
A minus negative, so bonus. Sweet.
Yeah, you can
I
use
don't
this
know what-
spoon, Herman.
Have you got
Well,
any
it's just
medical? Yeah, it's a glass eye.
I got biology.
Are you really going to try and pull an eye out of your socket?
I mean, you said it's a glass eye. We had
Sure.
to-
This is one of those weird things. I mean, not having had a glass eye in my life.
You assume that you can get them
I
out
mean, what? Yeah, I mean, you do.
because you see
But
it in movies.
how
and
do you
stuff.
know? How do you know it's a glass eye?
Yeah.
Because we were checking.
Unless you've been told.
It was in the bathroom. We were checking it.
Because he's blind in one eye, that's why.
He's blind
It doesn't
in
mean
one
that
eye.
it's
Because we
glass.
looked-
It means you
that's
can't
why
see
we
out of
did
it.
Well, that's what happened in the bathroom. Like we could record, we could rewind. But because like
Yeah, he's in the bathroom, he thought, this eye's not right. He touched it and it fell out and rolled around the sink.
I was told there was a glass eye.
Right, guys, come on, don't all talk over each other. But yes, absolutely, Herman, you know it's a glass eye. You know it's glass in your
Yeah.
eye socket, and it feels sore and it feels tender. What I'm trying to get at here is
Yeah.
how you're going to actually get your eye out.
I don't know.
I don't know either. How do you do that? Are you really
I
going to
don't know. I
Does
don't really
Herman
know how
to
you
do
even
it?
do it. I'd have to look up like a tutorial video on YouTube.
Does Herman know how to do this kind of stuff? Has he got anything as a skill that might?
I mean, if it's a
lend
fake
him to-
eye, like I mean, they could do the alternative where you just go like, because like your eye doesn't react, so like it's just
Exactly,
like
yeah. So you poke it and you
That
do
might be
that,
easier.
and nothing happens. it feels
You know,
bruised as you put pressure into it. It feels
so
like
you could also
get,
just like tap it.
you get a
You get that like tapping
yeah.
noise.
Yeah, with your fingernail, you get this kind of glass
Yeah.
noise. Yeah, you do that, and it's ting ting. It
Yeah,
gives like a kind of noise.
to kind of demonstrate to those guys, like they took my eye.
Yeah.
Bobby, they took my eye. Why's my accent changed?
You suddenly turned
I
into a
knew vocal
South Park
cord.
character.
I'm not a Herman anymore. Oh, jeez.
You know what? I
my-
kind of feel.
Glad.
I kind of feel that I need to roll stability.
But we might need to talk to Clayton. I think she knows.
Roll if you feel the need to roll stability.
I
will
feel
look at
after
the
everything that we've
stability-
just discussed, like the fact that it maybe wasn't a dream because we've all had the same dream. Herman is now missing an eye, and I appear to have scars on me that I didn't have before. I think I would like to roll stability.
Go for it. I'm going to call this an act of torture, just for the sake of the stability loss.
Self-talk?
Torturing myself. I've rolled a 4.
Yeah, you're.
Yeah. I'm not okay with this. Oh. No, I'm really not okay with this.
I bet you'd wish you hung onto that scotch now.
I've got preparedness points. I might find more scotch in my pocket.
Okay, Ed, you lose 2 points of stability as you put all this
Saw that
together.
coming.
You put all this together, and you put the connections together. What you saw, what everybody's saying, and the thought of what's going on in this hospital is just too much for you to cope. Roberta, you can handle this. You can deal with this. You can. I don't know, something about what you're talking about. It's too. I don't know how you cope with it, Bobby and Roberta, but you manage to not kind of lose your shit over this.
Yeah, I think I'm probably trying to convince myself that no, there's some kind of explanation for this. It was just a dream. There's no way that stuff like that happens in real life. Maybe Herman is suffering from some kind of mental delusion. Maybe he had the glass eye all along. I wouldn't know.
I think I would.
I'm not saying that out loud to you, Herman, because you're deranged.
So what do you do, guys?
Do you believe me? Do you believe me yet? We have to escape.
Yeah.
I think from when I was talking to her yesterday, Nurse Clayton, I think there's something that I think is bothering her. I think maybe she knows, but I
Knows
don't
what?
know what's going on.
They're doing things to us at night and taking away parts of our body. God knows what they took away from your insides.
I look down at the scar and she says that with a terrified look on my face.
We should.
He's
try
lost
and
an
get out.
eye. He's lost his eye.
Look. Mr. Hayward's. His police friends will be showing up soon enough, right?
I'm not waiting around. We need to leave. I'd rather get frostbite on my. I'd rather get frostbite and die out on the road than die in this place. Don't you remember those nurses from last night? I don't know where you two went, but those nurses, they were stitched together. Their bodies there were stitches. They had needles coming out their fingers.
Oh no, it was just a dream, Roberta. They weren't real. They can't be real.
Check your arms. Have you got puncture marks on your arms from their fingers? 3 of them, I think it was. Check your arms.
Check the neck. There.
But if you check your body now, you'll find there's puncture marks.
Well, yeah, we're in a hospital. We've had blood taken. We've been given injections.
Well, you can stay here another night if you want, but I'm leaving.
We need to either figure out what's going on, or we need to get out.
This isn't right, is it, Mr. Hayward? They can't be right, can they?
It seems like they're right. I remember the same thing you remember. They remember. I've got these marks. I show them marks on my arm. I mean,
I've got your
I'm
cigarettes.
fairly certain Herman had 2 eyes yesterday.
You didn't have that scar on your head.
Hear the revving of engines outside. Heavy revving as the sound of a car trying to get through some deep snow.
Maybe that's them. Mr. Hayward.
Glance out the window. Can I see what it is?
Not immediately, but after a bit, you see a black car you recognise. It's a car that would inevitably belong to a local police station.
Excellent. I'll just grab my coat and walk out of the ward and act like I'm just casually walking as I walk and try and get down to ward's reception.
And the nurse looks up. Says, where are you going, Mr. Hayward?
Walking's good for you. It helps you heal.
No, I'm afraid that's against doctor's orders. Please.
Which doctor?
It's all right, nurse. It's all right. We're just going for a quick cigarette. I'm using reassurance on the nurse. I will spend a point if I need to.
Yep.
And I'll grab my jacket too, and I'll grab the cigarettes off Roberta. And I'll go with.
I'll look at the nurse and go, Nurse, I suddenly feel really sick. Can you get me a bowl? I feel very sick.
Yeah. And yes, of course. And she goes round into the cupboard behind her and looks up for.
I look at the guys and go, go.
I scamper off, as it were.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look very casual as I walk down the corridor I should be walking down. And attempt to get to the lift.
So at this point, you've spent a bit of time resting in the morning. So give yourself a point of health back. Been fairly chilled up until this point. You don't get the points for your evening because you didn't rest.
For some reason.
The evening.
But it was all a dream.
You still have a splitting headache as you're walking
Yeah.
down.
I think I'm probably shielding my eyes from any bright lights or whatever as I'm making my way down shuffling down the
You
corridor.
get to the lift. Take the lift. Goes down, and as you arrive there, you see 2 police officers turning their back and walking away from reception. They've just spoken to somebody there, and they're walking out towards the front door.
I'll just try and catch them.
Yeah.
And as soon as I've got their ear, I'll just explain the situation.
Yeah.
I was
So
the one that called you.
as they're opening the door, and you come out, step out the lift, and you get up to them as they're walking across the central foyer, and you catch them as the door. They turn round, look at you. Say, "Yes, can I help you?"
I was the one that called for you. There's something going on at this hospital.
Oh, yes. I understand. You spoke to the chief. He told us to come up. Right. So, what is it that you're saying?
There's something going on in the night. There's a children's ward. All the children are scared. The nurses, they wheel the beds out in the night. They operate on the patients. I sort of go through bits and pieces.
What,
Does it look like they believe in
Ward
me?
4, Ward 4.
are you using?
Don't forget we took photos.
Are you using cop talk here at this point? I take
Yes.
it. Are you wanting to spend a point, or are
Actually,
you
no, I've got no points left in
got
cop
no
talk.
points? So
So
you're using it anyway, but
yeah.
So they're taking.
I'm good
One of them takes out the notes and thumbs to the pad and says "children," and he's writing some stuff, looking up at you, and he's like, "That's children getting operated in a hospital." Yep. Okay.
Okay, well, you put it like that.
The photos.
Nurses. Feeling patients around. Yep. What was it you were calling us? You said there was something wrong with this hospital, and the other one says as he's looking at his notes.
Yes, there's. In the night, the nurses, they take patients against their will. We found a violent patient attacked us. Later, his body was in the morgue. His throat had been slit. It wasn't.
Oh, and one of them looks up and says, "Well, I see. Yes, that this is something that we talked about on. Can you take us? Can you show us? We'll find it. We'll go and look. It's not a problem." And they begin to walk backwards towards the reception.
I will follow the police officers.
And he says,
Do you think they believe you, Mr. Hayward?
Probably.
the nurse nods her head and points down the corridor towards the other wing. And they begin to walk down the corridor towards the morgue and the children's ward.
I'll just follow them as they walk.
Yeah. The porter's there. As he's walking up the corridor. And the police ask, where's the morgue? And the porter just says, "Oh yeah, just wait." And he kind of he walks that bit and he points at the doors. And they open up the door and there's a body on the slates, on the slabs. And they walk up to it, fearless as you might expect. The door's closed behind them as they walk through. And the porter stands there and watches you.
Oh.
He says
In that
to you,
case, I guess I'm not going through the door.
yeah, and he says, I think you should be going back up to your ward. Nurse catches you out, she'll give me a lot of trouble. So, go on, get back up to your wards before there's any more.
With the other officers.
No, you're a patient here. Come on, let's go.
Yes, I'm a patient here and I'm also a police officer.
And he sort of walks up.
Actually, mate, I don't suppose you'd give me a hand, could you? I had some surgery yesterday, and I need a bit of a hand.
Okay.
Legit.
Any skills here, streetwise?
I will use. I'm good. Yeah. I would say reassurance, but I've got no points left, so I can't spend anything. But I will be using reassurance on him.
Mm-hmm.
I probably look like I've had like I'm ill, right?
Yeah. You all look pretty shaky.
Because what I actually want to do is I want to reach into his pocket and take his keys. Is what I'm actually wanting to do.
You have to use filth.
Okay. Well, that would be
Which would be filch, would it not?
filch. It would be filch. Yeah. So are you gonna? It's a general skill, so you get to roll
It
on
is.
that one, and
I do.
you can use
I'm
points
gonna-
if you want.
I'm going to. I'm going to spend. I'm going to spend points. I'm going to spend. I'm going to spend 3 points on this because no 2 for a 5.
And as I guess Ed's distracting him, talking to him, you just kind of mention that
Yeah.
to mumble to him, and you can see that just in his pocket there's a chain that's hanging down, and you reach in, and you unclip very quietly as Ed's chatting to him about arguing with him, I guess, about getting him into the and you take keys. You're not really sure what they are, but
I don't. I'm just hoping that at some point they will come in handy.
you've got a bunch of the porter's keys.
Cool.
And whilst that's going on, the officers they walk out through the door, and they see you. Well, yes. Well, thank you very much for your report. We'll be getting back to the station now. And they begin to walk.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's it.
There's been crimes committed here. Why are you leaving?
He walks up to you, kind of quietly says, "Sure what you're in for, but nothing wrong with that body. There's nothing wrong with that body. Other than it's dead, of course. That's kind of what happens in hospital. No obvious signs of what caused it at all, contrary to your report, sir. I'm really
What are you
sorry.
talking about? His throat was slit. His throat was slit. What are you talking about? We've got photos. We got photos.
And the porter's like, look, we're gonna have to get you back up here. You can't be running around, get yourself in a lather like this. I'll go and get the nurses to come and collect you and get you. If you're not gonna go, I'll go and get another porter and we'll take you up. Listen, you can't be walking around. Come on, let's go. And the police officer looks at you and says, yeah, I think you should listen to him.
Officer, we have photographs of the body that had the throat cut. If we give those to you, can you get those developed and investigate further?
And he kind of sighs. He looks at you. Have you got them with you? Says the other one. Another copper.
This is the slightly awkward point because I did not write down who had the photos.
No, I've got no idea who's got them either. It's either Herman or Ed, I thought.
Lloyd, you are muted.
Lloyd, mute.
I think, didn't we hide it in one of the beds, like under the sheets or something?
Have
I
you
think
got
it might have been
another-
on mine.
Do you want to spend another point of preparedness here to say that you grabbed it on the way out?
That would make sense.
I will.
That would
Yes,
simplify
I'll
things
gladly do that.
dramatically.
On the basis that I can't actually remember where they are.
Yeah, okay. So you take
Conveniently, they're in
Yeah.
my pocket.
you take the camera, you slung around your shoulder, and you say, "Look, just take this." Did you give him the camera?
Yeah.
And
They give him
then
the camera with the phone.
there's I think we said there was like slides or something, and you give him. He was one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
one
of
in
course
there,
it was individual slides at the time, but
Yeah.
yeah. I gave him the slide case or whatever was there to
Yeah,
carry
yeah.
the slides.
Yeah, with the black. They take that, and he's like, "Oh, All right then. And he looks kind of exasperated at you. He just, yeah. And he turns. Is that everything? I really hope you get better. By the way, it's a shame. It's a shame what happens to people. Yeah, and it kind of turns and walks back up the corridor towards the front door.
What do you mean? It's a shame what happens to people in here.
That did seem like an odd remark.
And the porter's like, "Come on, let's go. I just get you up there."
Yes, we're going.
Yeah.
I start walking back up the corridor.
So you've had a gentle afternoon. You've had a little walk. You've not overstretched yourself so far.
Didn't eat my toast. It's gone cold now.
Herman, Roberta, you were in the ward. Were you recuperating? Were you just resting up, or what were you?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
you
was
wait
really
for
privy to the whole conversation.
Well,
Okay,
I did the whole distracting the nurse thing so they could get
Yeah,
out and
no, it's
stuff
fine.
like
So-
that. So
We'll push
Yeah.
you. We'll give you. We'll say that you all get another point of health back as well. As you've been kind of gently exercising and not pushing it too far. Lunchtime comes. The
Stop
police,
rushing us through tonight. Stop rushing us through tonight. I don't want to do another night.
the police eventually managed to wheel out from the snow after much cursing and swearing and shoveling of snow from the front tires and the back tires, trying to get things just moving, and they eventually get out of and turn right and back up onto the road, and you just hear the noise of the engines. You're off towards town. It begins to snow again, covering their tracks quite quickly. The sign of the car actually being vanishes. The nurses are going about their business. Dr. Drake comes in and he does his rounds. Checks you all over.
Can we speak to Dr. Drake while he's doing this?
Yeah, he's there.
Do I still have a headache?
Oh yeah.
Dr. Drake?
Yes. He puts his hand
I'm not
out.
sure if something wrong with my head, Dr. Drake. I've had this splitting headache all day. I came in with a concussion after the accident, you remember?
That's
I've
right.
got this, but I've got this scar.
He's kind of hunched over you, and he looks at, he puts his hand out and says, Don't worry. Your memory will be coming back to you. It's fine. You'll be," and he looks you dead in the eye. "You'll be fine. It's just a natural way of your mind to heal after such a terrible accident. You'll find that bits will come back and a bit more lucid as you go. Another day, you'll have full
And I think-
memories back."
Well, Bobby's kind of lulled him into that. He's then going to kind of lean forward and he'll say, "Mr. Minnow's eye come back, Dr. Drake."
And he looks at you and doesn't blink and says it's his situation is different from yours. I wouldn't be too overly concerned. Sure, heal from his wounds.
I would be. You were looking at my allergies, and now my eye is gone and replaced.
No.
Glass one. I think I would know.
he pulls up your chart, flicks back, and says, "You were admitted with this. I don't see the problem. I understand you're under stress, but please, it's better that we just continue our tests and we'll find out what has happened to you. I'm sure.
I intend to.
Hmm.
And he looks round and he goes to the fifth bed, and looks over and checks the pulse and temperature, and notes that the patient is still lying pretty much as she has been, silent. She's maybe got a drip or something, and he taps that and goes to the nurse and gets the nurse, and he just walks out, and the nurses come in and change the drip, and yeah, time goes by. Hospital all seems relatively well for you all that day.
When they leave, I just turn to the others and say, "We have to leave here, and we have to leave here this afternoon. We need to check to see if there's any cars around. We need to pinch a car, and we need to get out."
Maybe we should try and corner one of the nurses and see if they can help us. Because Clayton seems to be something's bothering her, from when I was speaking to her yesterday. But maybe she can help us. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't know anything.
Herman, you've heard the phone ring probably 5-6 times.
The phone?
Yeah, you've heard the phone ring. Just in the background, just like it does.
Yeah.
It's something you're kind of aware of, but no messages for you guys or anything, but just to kind of, yeah. And I think you're reminded of Nurse Clayton having to go and take a call when she was speaking to you at one point. And she says, "Oh, I'll be back. I have to see to the phone." She goes off. She comes back and she's in kind of a bit of a bad mood. She seems her disposition has changed. She was seeing you, but she went off to answer the phone, came back, and
yeah.
She did that yesterday, didn't she? She answered the phone and she came back.
Yeah. What?
Maybe she's on a day shift. Maybe she leaves every day and goes home.
What? Bad news on the phone, Nurse Clayton.
she looks up as she's tending to your check or your whatever. She's looking you over, checking you over. And she says, "No, it's just the usual," and deep sigh.
Whatever the usual is, it seems to bother you greatly. You sure everything is all right?
And you're using some sort of interpersonal skill at this point, aren't you?
So I think we kind of did oral history. Well, that's what we mentioned last time. Because,
yeah.
So I could burn a point of that to keep this going.
I think that's fair, because you're talking about what was said the other day, and that seems. So she kind of says, my father, you see, I look after him. I work here, I look after him, and he doesn't like that. He thinks that I should be with him all the time, but of course I don't make any money when I look after him, so I can only do that when I'm not here, which is in the evenings. And he phones and he hassles, and he phones and he hassles. And she just looks.
Do you go home every night?
She looks up. Oh, yes, I have to go and look after my father. You see, without me, he would not do well. I must see to him.
How do you get home?
Well, with the snow, it must be difficult.
It takes some time, and that's often why my father doesn't understand why I'm not there for him then when he wants to be. And I shouldn't be bothering you with this.
It's okay.
Do you drive in?
Not in this weather. No, we live close enough. I walk. It's unpleasant and cold, and he doesn't seem to listen. No, I've said too much. I mustn't trouble you with this. You're here to get better, and we must see to that. Now, where did I? And she begins to scribble something on the board.
Oh, boss. Maybe if he is so infirm, maybe he could come here, and then you wouldn't have to worry about all the snow and everything to go and see him. You'd just be looked after.
Yeah. Yes, his health is deteriorating.
We're not talking about an actual dad anymore. Oh god. Well, I hope he gets better soon.
Yeah.
Sounds like he is wasting away. Falling to pieces, as it were.
I'll see him tonight. Yes, look, we'll find out what's happening. Don't you worry about yourself. It's okay. You don't need to worry about my father. I'll worry about him.
Is it just human nature? Yes, Clayton.
She kind of finishes up, and the phone rings again, and she's like, "Oh!" and she just looks frustrated, and then wheels out and turns.
I feel like if I feel
Is it just us in here now?
Yep.
If only we could hear what was on the phone to find out
Maybe
who
it
she
was her
was
dad.
really talking to. Perhaps if so, then maybe she is a bit less suspicious. If it is someone else, then that it would be good.
But if she lives near enough, we can leave with her. We could leave the hospital with her. We have to get her on our side.
If she does leave,
Maybe she's lying.
I don't know how. If there's so much snow that no one can get to, I don't know. If it's too dangerous for people to drive at night, how does she go home? Like, the police had to come in the morning. They couldn't come out last night because of, like, if they couldn't make it, then how did she go? We need
I
to
believe her.
find out.
It's the only chance we've got.
Well, we should find out. We could maybe try and follow her, or listen in on the phone somehow.
But I think we should. I think when she leaves, we follow her and we try and leave with her.
You see her walking to the station and slamming something down on the desk, kind of bang. You know, she makes a noise, and you turn around and see her, and she walks back up the corridor again.
I hope I'm wrong. And that
Do you think she's got a locker or something here?
We can find out. We should follow her. We can try and follow her and then see what we can find out. It is like her. Might be our only lead for now.
My God, I just realised we need to find that little girl. Check she's okay.
She was hiding in the cupboard, wasn't she?
It's not that far.
She was hiding there. What was she hiding from again?
She said things were coming to get her at night, and Hurting her.
Probably the nurses.
There's no one around. Let's go and look for her now while we've got the chance to leave.
Well, maybe she had the right idea. Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe,
Well, maybe, but I need to just go and check she's still okay. Look at the ward door and see if there's anybody about. And then
Quiet.
dash to see if I can find her.
You
Okay.
dash.
Who's coming with me?
If you're exerting yourself, you'll lose a point of health.
I will. I'll
I'll
go.
do that, yeah. I'm going to rush.
it's
I
worth
will
it.
go with. I'll keep an eye out for Nurse Clayton while we are. See if we see her at any point.
I will also follow them.
Where is health? There it is, hidden.
Yeah. So yeah, exerting yourself, you stretch out and stride down the corridor at a fair pace towards the reception area, which joins you to the other wing, which contains the children's ward. And the front door, of course. And a fair number of other rooms and buildings. Rooms and corridors that branch off reception. Yeah, you know that the doctor's offices are there. You've been into them. The other signs that you see are for administration, library, the canteen, the chapel. You've been to the morgues, you know where that is. And this is all on the ground floor, as well as doctor's offices and Ward 1, administration and the kitchen. So you don't see that sign for the top floors, but you see this kind of, the telltale signs of what's on the bottom floor. Plus, you've got the map that you picked up from Dr. Drake's office. So in going to the east wing, to the children's ward, you pass the administration, pass the morgue, and you assume that the canteen chapel is somewhere around there as well, given that the signs are pointing that direction. And the front door, of course. So you find yourself down by the long corridor that ends at to the children's ward, and I don't know if there's anything you want to do in between, but yeah, that's where you can get to, and nobody interrupts.
I look for the cupboard where the little girl was and knock on it gently and try and open it slightly, saying, "Hello, it's me."
The other three of you see Roberta talking to a cupboard. You open it and there's various bed linen.
Is the doll there that she had? She's gone.
Maybe
Went back to the ward, the children's ward.
Yeah, you clicked it.
Yeah. So
Maybe she only hides at night.
Wonder if we go back to the children's ward and is there any nurses in there? Well, there wasn't yesterday. Go in.
Don't see her.
Damn it.
The other children stare at you, quiet and hushed down as you walk in.
Hello. Are you talking to me today? There was a little girl that was on this ward. Have you seen her? Did she tell me her name? Oh my god, I can't remember her name. Whatever her name was. Blah, blah, blah.
It was Beth.
You hear footsteps clicking down the corridor.
I look at the children. Have you seen Beth? Has Beth been around?
Stare at you.
Do you want to leave this place?
They jump back in the beds. Probably for everyone that was sitting down and playing jumps back in the bed and sits there, hands on her lap. Stares at you, and then behind you hear, "What are you doing in here? What are you doing in here? I don't think you should be in. Now get out of here. Leave these children. Just back up to your ward. What do you think you're doing?" And she kind of comes in and bustles you out quite sternly, as she is wont to do. She looks back at the children and bustles you. "Now, if you don't mind, walk back up and get back into bed. You are becoming quite the trouble. Might have to have the porters keep a closer eye on you. You're not supposed to be gallivanting around this hospital, especially not coming down here." And she stares. She stares at Roberta. She just stares, and then says, "Filling their heads filled with twiddle twaddle. Now get up there." And she turns round and walks back into the children's ward and begins to check the.
They try and take me to Ward 4. You guys have got to protect me.
I think if tonight we should, like, when they clock out, we should. I think maybe we should go and see this ward. We need to find out.
We are not to sleep. We're not to sleep tonight, and we've got to keep a mask on our face. We've got to put some material over our face. We can't. With that blacking out thing, with that thing that happened last night. Did you not smell it? This straight.
We could maybe try that storeroom we found yesterday. See if there's any supplies in there we could use. If we are not in our ward, maybe it'll take them longer to find us, or maybe they weren't.
Are you walking up the corridor as you're having this conversation?
Whispering.
If no one's around, yeah. If no one's around.
Yeah.
Like only when we're on our own.
Yeah. So you get closer to reception and somebody on reception.
I go to reception and has to make an external call.
Well, I'm sorry, the phone lines are down. I think snow was heavy on the line.
Well, that's not true, because I've heard the phone ringing when we were on the ward.
Here? And she holds the phone up to you.
Does the phone take internal calls? Like,
yes.
How long have the phone lines been down?
We think since about the past couple of hours. We'll get it fixed.
Would that be in before or after Nurse Clayton? Just time frame wise.
Could I use assess honesty on her, please?
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Is it 1 point enough?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as they're having this conversation, yeah, I'm going to be kind of studying her face just to see if there are any kind of telltale signs. You know, I'm used to dealing with liars and scumbags and stuff, so.
Yeah. No, she's being totally truthful. As far as you can tell, she's got the phone and she's held it because you've made a call from that. Ed made a call from that phone. So you know it worked yesterday and it isn't working now, and you tap the thing on it and there's no connection to the operator.
Do you go home at night?
Yes.
How do you get home in this weather?
My husband, he'll come pick me up and we'll walk back together. It's not ideal, but we can't afford a car, so we live nearby in some of the houses.
houses, are they adjacent to the hospital?
Yes, just cottages, somewhat up the road. She looks up at you. Says, "Can we help you? You
What time do you
What?
finish?
Oh, I'll finish in about an hour."
Okay.
I want to try and get some idea as to whether there's like a staff locker room or something like that in the hospital, or where, whether there's somewhere that these people change from their uniforms into.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know.
If there is, it's likely to be in the administration area of the hospital, which is sort of in the central block, not down one of the
Right.
wings, but in the larger central block of the hospital.
From like the reception
Yeah,
area
around
that
that.
area.
It's one of the smaller corridors that off. Yeah.
Do the phones let you know who was the last person to call?
No, but that would
It's
be
the
very
30s,
useful,
right?
wouldn't it? What a great idea.
Just dial
It was a
147.
it was a long shot.
Hmm.
Oh,
So we walk away
yeah. Like
from
that.
reception.
I think she was telling the truth about the phone, Miss Carroll.
But I think there's some houses nearby. We need to go back. We need to get some coats, and we just need to leave.
Would his assess honesty have lasted for the point where she talked about the cottages? Like, was she honest about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If we could see it. I don't know. Have you told anyone about the keys you've lifted?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
I'm waiting for an opportune moment.
There's a sign that points to the administration office and library.
Ah. Look, I lifted some keys off the porter earlier.
Do you
Can
think
maybe
they-
use them? Maybe they'll get us into the administration block.
Maybe they will get us out.
Or maybe.
Yeah.
But I was thinking maybe we could just use them, find an office or somewhere to hide out in overnight. You know,
Yes.
in case the nightmares come back.
Yeah. That is it. We should scout while we still can.
Definitely find a hiding place. If we can't leave here tonight, we need to find somewhere to hide so they can't find us.
That's what I was thinking, Miss Carroll.
Good lad. Should we just go and hide?
We can
now?
hide out in Dr. Drake's office after he's gone.
Maybe, I think we should. If we are going to hide, we should hide after the nurses have done the last round.
All right.
If they try to look for us now, they'll try find us before they leave.
We have to do it quick. I don't want that gas again. We don't want to do that.
Maybe that's what's giving me this headache.
I think something to do with the scar on your head as well might have something to do with it. We don't want any more scars appearing on any of us by tomorrow.
I could see if
Or
we
body
could find
parts missing.
If I could find supplies, we can maybe fashion something that might help us with the gas. If it comes to it.
Well, there's that cupboard that that kid was hiding out in. That had blankets and things in it.
And
There
was
now.
Oh, but there's
supply room.
blankets and things in there. We can use them to.
Yeah, there was the supply room we found. They had the lots of like disinfectant as well. There may be other things in there that
Yeah,
we could use.
I'll post the map of sorts in Discord just so you can get sight of it.
Yeah.
And it's not much, but it gives you an idea as to what you saw when you got that thing from Drake.
Let's go and hide in one of the disused areas of the hospital. What could possibly go wrong there, then?
Well, there's an empty ward there.
I think maybe that. Well, that one of the operating theaters. Maybe we should maybe see if one of them matches the one we saw.
I don't know if I want to go back there, Mr. Minnow.
Let's head back to the ward for now. Sorry. If we're going to sneak out, we should. We're still the nurse is gone, then we can get out and. I mean, yesterday we left after the nurses were gone. We were out for quite a while, and then we got back to the ward before whatever other nurses came. Surely we'll have some time after the nurses make their last rounds to get into storage units or find a way out, whatever our plan is. But if the nurses catch us in the corridor again and they want to send us up to Ward 4, that's going to change all of our
Don't let them
plans.
send me to Ward 4. You won't let them send me to Ward 4, will you? She hates me. The doctor hates me now. She hates me. I'll be on Ward 4. If they try and take me, you will fight for me, won't you?
I think maybe the people in Ward 4 may be people like us. If we could find if we manage to find a way out, maybe we could. I don't know. If there's ever more time, we could maybe see if we could try to come back for that, help them escape.
Maybe if you went to Ward 4,
get out of here first.
ask them we could ask them on Ward 4 what. Maybe they're innocent people like us that've been dragged up there.
They might not be as mad as that Kevin. They might be like you, where they realized what was happening and then they were locked away. They might be
Should be
able
free
to help
them.
us as well.
If they're being kept there because they know what's happening, then there'll definitely be security or someone on watch.
But maybe we could have a quick look at whenever we have the chance.
Yeah. Let's head up there now, and then if they do spot us in the corridors, at least we can say that we were heading back to our ward, got off on the wrong floor.
Okay.
Oh yeah, can't wait to go to the mental bit.
It might not be.
Okay, so where are you heading?
Ward 4, by sounds of it.
Okay.
Don't smile like that. Stop it.
I have a bad feeling, but I have a feeling this is like what's one of the only clues we have left as well, just leads wise. Oh.
Okay. You arrive from the lift, head down the west wing unimpeded. Ward 4, as you know, is reserved for psychiatric patients. Langley was one of them, who you met and subsequently saw.
A lot of.
There's nobody at the door. The door's locked.
Keys.
Are there windows in the door or in the walls of the ward?
Yep, secured
Can we-
bars over them.
peer through and see if we can see anybody within.
There are 2 people within, on beds.
Do they look like they're restrained at all, or are they just lying on beds?
Can't see.
Fair enough.
You sure this is a good idea?
Not really. I mean, we wanted to come and look here. It certainly looks like it's a secure space, but if they're as violent as the other one...
One of these keys will open that door.
Open it and stay near the door, and then you can lock it again if you need to. You've got the keys.
I take the keys out of my pocket, and I start jamming them into the lock and trying to turn to see if I can unlock the door. 'Cause that's what Mr. Hayward said.
Takes you some time. There's quite a few keys in the bunch, and they all look pretty much the same. But you find one which gives the barrel turns. Door opens.
I'll step inside the ward and see if I can get a better look at the patients.
Careful now, Mr. Hayward.
Two patients. One has tubes into a mask over their face. There's a third.
Does this look like a conventional medical apparatus?
Yeah.
Does it look? Well, that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Nothing untoward at that point, but yeah, you also see a third bed with some items on the bedside cabinet next to it. Nobody in it.
I'll just step over and have a look at what's on there. Go through what's on top and open the cabinet, see if there's anything inside as well.
And as you walk down, one of them turns round, looks at you, and says, "Hey there, old man. What you brought for me? Hey, what you brought for me, old man? Look at you walking up and down the corridor."
I reach to my pocket and go, "I have some whiskey." It's the empty hip flask, but it doesn't know that from there.
Well, it looks like you should drink some more of it because you ain't walking funny.
Yeah, that happens. I will
God.
pretend to take a drink.
That's what I like to see. Go on, get some of that over here for me.
I will toss it over near his hands.
Yeah. Ah, gee, shit, man, it's empty. Why are you going to do that? Go get me some proper stuff, will you?
All right, hang on. And I'll just carry on towards the bedside cabinet I wanted to look at.
Yeah, the other one sort of looks at you and looks away and 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 looks at you and looks away.
I'm trying to keep my eyes on both of them while I walk over here and look at other things, so I'm probably doing much the same at this point.
Yeah. You find there's a clipboard on the end of the bed, and you recognize Langley written at the top of it. Have you got any skills you can use to, or has anybody got any skills to use to look at this particular clipboard?
I think Herman's probably your
I have
best bet.
biology.
You got any medicine, maybe, or
Let's have a look. Anthropology, history.
I don't know how to read these at all, so I
Bureaucracy?
just
Yeah.
take it back to the door and hand it off to somebody.
Say it doesn't matter if you haven't got points in it, as long as you
it's
have
just,
a
it's just
rating in
something.
it.
Yeah, yeah. So you
What
look at
is
this.
the equivalent skill? I don't know.
First aid,
I have chemistry.
chemistry, pharmacy.
Oh, did you say we
pharmacy?
can? Anyone can use it.
Yeah, anybody can read it.
Pharmacy. If
Has
anybody's
anybody
got pharmacy, maybe.
So we could all read it and try and pass
No.
it, but
I have chemistry. But if I could use chemistry, I could use a point of chemistry.
Yeah, that'll get you something. Has anybody got? I'm trying to think of what you might otherwise.
I don't have medicine.
I don't know. What?
I've got first
psychoanalysis
aid.
Or trying to think of something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. By the by,
Biology, if it mentions anything.
Yeah, I think
about
Herman's going to be
women's or
kind of
something.
yeah. So basically, what you get from that is that he was admitted. This character was a German lecturer. These notes are right. He was admitted with a nervous breakdown due to stress related to his job. That's what's mentioned. 3 months ago, as you're looking down, he had an attack of appendicitis, and that's like his full record is there. But that's, as you're scanning through it, you see that's when he ended up here in Ladies. Again, you're scanning down as it looks like he was getting better, and then he got worse. And then he got better, and then he got worse again. So they've kept him in for a while, and then he died.
When was
As
that?
you know. When did he die?
does it say only why he died? What does it say what he died of?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't say anything. But it doesn't say that he died. It's just that you know he
It
died.
just ends.
That-
Yeah.
You know that he died, but it kind of ends up at that point where he was getting worse
Yeah.
again. It said he was getting worse again.
Yeah.
The kind of broad reading of this that you're doing.
So
Yeah, and the
he's
other ones
getting
are,
worse again. I mean, are we talking about he was getting worse from a psychiatric point of view, or was he getting worse from a medical, physiological point of view?
yeah, both. That's why he's in the psychiatric ward. But yeah, it's obviously physical things were getting worse with him as well as that. But I mean, it's hard deciphering the doctor's handwriting. You've got this guy's just shouting at you. Come on, my friend. Why don't you just come over here and give my hand a rub? It's really quite sore. I think you'll be good at giving me a massage with those big, strong arms, youngin. Come on over here.
I think we should.
I just shout through the door and say to it. I shout through the door and say to him, "Have you seen the big black slime thing that comes down the corridors at night?"
Are you shouting at them down the corridor?
A whispery shout.
In this big ward? No, they wouldn't hear you. Unless you're in...
Damn it! I want to go into the ward.
Herman.
Is there anyone else about?
No, there's nobody else. There's nobody else about. Yeah. There's another thing that you find. There's a musty looking book in his locker.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And there's a book plate on it announcing that it's property of Our Lady's Hospital Library.
We haven't been to the library.
We had library use burned at some point. I thought we had. Yeah, but that's something we can check.
Have you got
Admin.
what else?
What's the book?
Archaeology?
I don't know. I don't know. I've anthropology.
It looks like. It looks like that there's some sort of treatise on the history of medicine or some such. as you flick through the book, this history of medicine, something grabs your attention. There's a picture of a long-nosed mask, bird-like in features, black feathers at the back. It's a medieval plague doctor. Very similar to something.
Yeah.
that we've
Yeah.
seen.
Do we?
Or
Well,
think
I
you've
guess
seen.
I'm standing by the door. I don't see that, do I?
But is it just a medieval plague doctor, or is this like a reference to something else? I don't know, like whatever the book says about them.
Yeah, I mean, you're just looking through. As you're flicking through, at this you find a page of handwritten notes in what looks to be German.
Damn it!
Does anybody have Does anybody have languages generally? Doesn't matter if you specify at this point.
I have languages, but I didn't say which.
You don't have to.
You don't have to until
That's the
time
beauty of Trail. You can specify now what language it is.
I will specify now that I can read German. Ha ha ha!
He's Pennsylvania Dutch.
How convenient.
But anyway, you are not in the ward.
No.
Yeah.
If nobody else was coming in, I would be taking these things back.
How would
to
that
the-
work? Would I just burn a point on languages to speak German?
You don't burn a point. You just say that the language that you
Okay.
know is German. Yeah.
So Ed,
Okay.
yeah.
So is that two mean I can speak two languages? I guess.
Ed and
I think
Herman,
it's-
assuming that you're both.
Means
Yeah.
You're
So
both
to save
walking
Angie a
about.
point, to save Angie doing it, I'll do it because I have languages as well.
Are you in?
Okay,
Are you
fine.
in the ward too, Herman?
Are you in the ward?
yeah, Herman was looking at the medical notes.
Yeah,
wasn't
Herman and
so
Ed.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
suddenly learn how to speak German.
he?
I'll take the blue pill.
Yeah. So Ed, Herman, you read this. Translating it, it yields the phrase: "The eye sees, and the hand unlocks. The key is born of the riddle of flesh."
I'll pocket that just for later reference.
Right.
Because I've hastily written it down wrong. I'll go back to find where everyone, like, join up with anyone else
Just,
who's in here.
Ed.
So I found this riddle in one of the books.
Ed, you're still. Hang on, before you do that, Ed, you're still
Yeah.
in, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, as you're both kind of searching around, yeah, something. As you were looking at the, I guess you were checking that book as well. Are you talking to the? Are you talking to the characters that are in bed, or they're still kind of eyeing you and they're still looking at you, and one of them's still hurling insults and abuse at you?
Keeping an eye on them. I'm not talking to them.
Oh, okay. And one of them's like, she's like, "Just come over here, rub my hand, darling." Like,
I'm wondering if I just ask him about the eye that sees, like, does he react?
no, they don't say anything.
Oh, yeah. It's the same. It's the same phrases that the mad guy at the beginning was spouting. So this is like the same riddle.
The eyes, the hands.
Yeah, the eyes that see, and the hands, and then. Yeah.
You're standing there, Bobby,
Yeah,
looking
I
into
turn
this.
to. I can hear them talking. Yeah, I can hear the patient shouting.
You can hear the patient shouting. Yeah. Bobby, you're standing there looking in. You are absolutely. Your headache has really taken a turn.
Okay.
It's starting to really impact on your eyes. You become somewhat dizzy.
Okay.
I think someone's going to lose a hand.
There's something I want to say, but I don't want to meta it.
We need to group up. We have a discussion.
Yeah. And one's like, "Come back anytime. They're beautiful."
So I might have to have more time with this book to kind of cross-reference it with the riddle to see if the guy got the riddle from the book or it'll have to be for later.
You found a book?
Yeah, and I found this riddle. It matches what that crazy guy was saying at the yesterday. The eye sees, the hand unlocks, the key is born from the riddle of flesh. I remember him when he was spouting when he was ranting. He mentioned the eye that sees, and now they've taken my eye. I don't know if that's coincidence or something else. Because we had those X-rays of like our skulls and hands.
It probably doesn't mean anything, but wasn't one of those patients in there going on about the hand? I don't feel very well.
Bobby, no, you don't. You really don't. The headache that you've experienced becomes absolutely splitting headache. You feel weak by it. You feel almost sick.
Yeah.
The back of your head and your neck just tenses. Your shoulders are
Oh,
tight. Your whole body is tensed up.
I'll go find some aspirin or lie down or something.
Yeah, that's it. You feel like you want to be in a dark room. The bright lights are bright, but there's something else. Yeah, there's something else that you can see with this headache.
Oh no.
There's something else that you can see through the headache and the pain that is just unbearable. But you feel a movement in your forehead and the rest of you watching see this happening.
They see something moving under the skin.
The skin breaks open.
Here it comes.
Found your eye, Mr. Minnow.
And yeah, an eye.
Time to get the spoon.
An eye begins to appear from inside your forehead out through your skin.
Knew that was
Yeah.
I think that's probably a good place to call it there.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So is it like a proper eyelid and everything that's
Getting
kind
there,
of just
isn't
open?
it? It's getting there, yeah. It's getting there. But there are some interesting benefits which we'll have to discuss as to how exactly they translate from fear itself into Trail of Cthulhu.
I can see slightly higher with it.
Yeah.
If there were shelves that were like this high,
But
I'd be able to see what was on them.
but certainly
I can relate.
this idea that you can get something else through that headache, it's not just the pain. There is an extra sense that you've
Yeah.
Oh.
The power of
that you've gained.
hypnosis.
Yeah.
No, I was half
I'm
expecting
turning into a
like,
beholder, guys. I'm going to death rate everyone.
I mean, that wouldn't be far off the last thing we saw growing additional eyes. Like I was half worried that he'd be like, oh, now you can kind of see like through the headache, like the dream world, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Possibility.
And then just be like, oh, you would just like behind us, you could see like the figures like materializing because you could see them and we couldn't.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them.
I have a feeling if I made an adventure based off my notes for this, like with the ideas I had randomly while trying to piece stuff together, I could probably make a very different adventure.
Quite room it entirely.
So I guess the thing of like I think I'm catching on to it, but like I don't know if I don't have like enough clues to like lock it down to know what to do next. Is the problem I'm having.
Cool. Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
We've got a bit more to go,
Oh,
guys. We're
yeah.
taking it to 3 parts.
Yeah.
Wow. It is, I mean, there's been references, hasn't there? That's the thing. Kind of through it to eyes and hands. Like,
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we have the X-rays
that
of
patient
skulls
saying,
and hands.
"Come and rub my hand. My hand is sore." And
Yeah.
I was thinking, "Go and look at the hand." They're talking about the hand.
He's gonna have some kind of withered little crone hand, and then you'll have like another hand.
Or maybe it's not there, and we don't know. We don't know.
Well, we still can check because we're like right there. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I didn't want to meta it though.
Is the article the same as?
I mean, if the guy said it, I don't know. Then I don't know.
We'll find out, I guess, next
Yeah.
time, right? Because
Are you ready for another night in this hospital? An
Well,
hour
I'm
later?
hoping we can do it. I'm hoping we can do a lot before it gets to that point.
to
kind of
I'm not sure that my character is going to be up to doing too much. He has just sprouted a third eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to start with stability rolls from everybody next time, right?
That would
Just
seem
a-
sensible.
just a
I
hunch.
don't know about
Just
you.
a
I'm
hunch.
spoon. I'm getting my eye back.
Over my dead. Wait a minute.
Yeah. And he gets it. He gets it. No metagaming involved. But, yeah.
As a group, we have the same number of eyes as before.
Exactly.
They're just more useful.
Though I also do now know how to take out a glass eye. Apparently, it's not that difficult.
Did you Google it?
I was watching a tutorial video on YouTube.
Oh my god.
Apparently, you just pull down here and it just sort of pops out.
Okay.
I did have a neighbour that had a glass eye, and yeah, we'd been messing around on a bit of wasteland next to his house, and
Yeah.
you know, with the usual things with sticks and bits of metal and stuff like throwing stones, and he came out and showed us what happens.
When you,
Yeah.
Do you remember?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That was,
it also depends on this like time period. If it's the one where you have like the actual like ball painted eyes, or you have the like shaped, sort of more modern design ones. I don't really know when they sort of changed.
In the is it 1930s, right? So I'm
Okay,
assuming
I'm
they're not very
remembering a
sophisticated.
film or a TV program where somebody had a third eye, but it came out on a stalk.
Oh, that was the
It was a Lovecraft one, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah. It was like I can't
It came out on stalks, and their eyes
Yeah.
were like.
Was it From
and
Beyond?
then they'd go.
Yeah, From Beyond.
And
Yeah,
suck
with
back
Jeffrey
in.
Combs.
Yeah, From Beyond,
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah,
Yeah, like the one guy who was like every single Lovecraft thing in the 80s.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was Herbert West Reanimator and everything, wasn't he?
Yeah. From Beyond.
Jeffrey Combs,
Yeah.
that's the guy.
Just remember it.
He's
Yeah.
been in lots of stuff.
Can you tell we're playing Cthulhu again? Look, by the way, this is what I've took. These are the notes I've took tonight. That was one page. Then I did that page.
I don't
And
really
then I
have
did
much
that
happening.
page.
Wow. That's almost as much as an invention.
Ange just wrote the entire script.
Yeah, I think she's been transcribing like all of the content.
Yeah, and then Lloyd said this, and then Josh said this, and then Croy replied with,
Wow. I just watched the VOD. That's all. Watch the VOD again. It's easy.
It's my memory. That's the problem. I'm not watching
Yeah.
myself.
"No, I can't do that.
I've had
I know you say that we should, but I can't."
I annoy myself as I do it, so I'll annoy myself even more if I watched it. I'm writing my own rules. My rules are the best rules.
Cool.
Can't believe that.
Right, guys, it's getting late.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah. And you lot, I've got another Cthulhu tomorrow.
And we're still actually still have spaces. We have to roll characters as well.
Yes, we do have
We
to.
have to roll space.
I think we're going to
Yeah, we got a space. We need to fill it.
use space. Yeah.
So yeah.
It doesn't take that long because.
No, I don't. I'm not playing tomorrow because I've played this one before. So we have a space. It's who's playing tomorrow? I can't remember. It's well, it's you. It's you lot,
Three
isn't
of
it?
us. I don't know who else.
I think there's the.
Roy, Lloyd. Is Josh? Are you playing?
No, I think Andy is.
Andy, but did you want to play, Josh?
there is one
I
space.
might not have internet tomorrow, which is why I didn't sign up.
Where's it going?
It's disappearing into the ether. I'll need someone with a third eye to find it for me again.
I know just the guy. Yeah, but don't look at Lloyd because
Yeah.
But no, I don't know when it's going
He
to.
hasn't even
No,
got-
sorry,
he
no.
hasn't even got two.
I will. No, I'll be sending abuse from the chat. Don't worry.
Sounds good.
But I will. I
I
will
didn't
try.
want to sign up and then have to message and say, actually, my internet's not on. I won't be turning on.
Oh.
yeah, not to worry.
Yeah, because we're doing somebody else tomorrow, really. I mean, you can. It's a shorter one, so you can do it with 3. But
It's a
Yeah.
shorter one. I mean, come on. When does that ever count for anything?
Yeah,
everyone
a
was planned for
shorter
a
one.
two-parter.
until it meets this group, and then
It's a shorter one. It'll only be 4 sessions.
I think the problem is, it's like if you have to
Like
run
tops.
it very tight ship to get any of these one shots to actually be one shots.
yeah, yeah.
Which I think a lot of people.
And
that
we
write
do not do
do
that.
not always. Well, I think a lot of people. I think most people probably don't.
Yeah, I'm quite happy
Nah.
running
I think a lot of the people that write them don't realize how long people actually do. It's like
Well,
when
I'm
you have to
sure.
sleep.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of them write the
Yeah.
3-session one shot, right? I mean, it's got to be.
Or just the one shot in 9 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, well, a lot of them,
It's
yeah.
value for money, people.
If we keep going at this rate, we'll probably be able to spin out like a 6-part miniseries.
Yeah.
You sell it to like HBO or whatever.
If you can make it last longer, you don't need to buy more one-shots.
Cheaper.
Yeah.
I
True.
like that.
No, yeah.
That's true.
Save money.
That's a good call. Yeah, nice one. Right, well, thanks everybody for following us through that one. Yeah, I think we're getting to the next night. I think the night is where everybody wants to really see these guys, isn't it? I know I do. So that's
No, we don't. No, because we must have at least an hour now before for us to go to the library, kidnap that nurse,
Yeah.
take her to her house, lock ourselves in there, or lock ourselves. We've only got. We can do all of that in the short amount of time that we've got.
yeah.
I don't-
not
I
a
don't-
problem.
I have a strange feeling they don't leave the hospital, but we will find out. So probably
Well,
yeah. It's either like I've gone off on my own story thread, which would be quite good for its own one-shot adventure, like an original take on
Yeah.
the scenario. Or I'm right, in which case it's even worse. We'll find out.
I hope for the latter. I hope for the latter.
Yeah.
Cool. Guys,
I was just
thank-
wondering, does Herman wear glasses? Because I was just thinking, it's just my look that the extra eye I get is dodgy.
Short-sighted.
And,
Well,
and
I had
can't see without glasses. on.
like Crow was saying, I had 20/20 beforehand.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's a good eye then. That's all right
Oh,
then.
we
huh?
did.
Yeah, that's useful.
I mean, it's an average eye. It's not a good one.
Yeah, 20. Yes, that's true.
Excellent. Everybody, thank you so much for playing along today. It's been great fun. Cthulhu as keeper is definitely something that I can see the appeal and obviously playing it as well to have such amazing things happening. I'm really looking forward to wrapping this up in 3. That'll be 9 hours. That's all right. That's not bad for a one shot. We'll see how it
Kill
goes.
us all.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
Maybe
we
we're
just,
gonna have
just got to the end where we're all dead.
We're back on
Wednesday.
tomorrow. I'm not sure who's actually. Am I streaming it, or is Andy streaming it, or I'm not quite sure who's producing tomorrow, but we'll figure it out.
Angie.
Angie's doing it. Excellent with the potatoes. Everybody's getting mashed potatoes on the internet. Cool. So thanks very much for being in and following the story along. I hope you're enjoying it so far. I am, and I think these guys are too, judging by the length that they're going to take the notes and talk about it. It's fantastic. Love it. We will be back again tomorrow at 9 p.m. BST, which is 4 p.m. EST if you're on the other side of the pond. It also happens to be 8 p.m. UTC, and the clocks are changing next weekend, or is it this weekend?
Saturday night into
Halloween
Sunday, isn't it?
weekend
Yeah.
to change.
No, the 25th.
It's
25th it
Oh, is
changes.
it this
It's-
weekend?
yeah,
Oh,
it's-
I believe so, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, remember to put your clocks back if you're in UK or other daylight savings notion places. So yeah, cool.
Does that mean if we play until 2 a.m.,
It'll be one.
we only played till
we
one.
play until 1, but then we get an extra hour to play till 2
Again.
again?
And then we will finish the one shot.
It's the only way
One
we
shot.
can do it.
Love it. Okay.
All right.
No, says Infinity.
Thank you, Croy.
Well done, guys. Cheers.
Yeah.
Have a good one, everybody. And
Cool.
we'll
Great
see
job,
you
See you all
all.
tomorrow.
Take it
Bye,
easy.
bye, bye.
Bye.
I think Andy was pleased with that. No.